Yo, what up, people? My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Planning Traffic, and we are here live. We are live on YouTube, so if you're over there, please like, share, and hit the little bell so you can get notified when we come up with some new content. And we got the crew in the house. We got everybody in there, the usual crew. We got a special guest coming on tonight, Clay Koon. He's working on his system, so he should be on anytime. And we're going to have the usuals on screen. As soon as Ray gets here, we'll pop him on. How's everybody doing tonight? Man, we got a crew in tonight. There's Ray. We'll get Ray in. So listen, everybody in the chat, if you get a chance to go check out the YouTube channel, The Planning Traffic Show, please leave your feedback. Let me know what's going on over there. Hey, Ray.
Lewis, how are you?
Good. Clay is in the chat room, but he's having trouble getting on. He was on, but no video.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, he's working through some stuff. We had a Zoom meeting this afternoon, and he was that was successful. That worked. So I guess whenever I've seen on different platforms the stuff works differently sometimes. So
yeah,
exact.
Yeah, it's real finicky too.
Yeah.
If your Wi-Fi is not 100%, or it could be anything.
Yeah.
So what's good on your end?
Oh man, cleaning up after the storm.
Oh, it hit you pretty good, huh?
Yeah, man. It was a wind event for us because we were on the east side of it. The west side is the rain event. So Jersey got nailed with the rain, but yeah, we had wind all day. I was outside in the wind, watching the shingles fly off my garage roof, watching the tree fall on top of my pool, watching my deck canopy fly away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. It's like Kansas, man, like Dorothy. Yeah.
See, we didn't even hardly get any rain over here in Ohio.
The night before, my friend from PA sends me a screenshot of a weather map and said, "Watch out, boys, it's coming your way." And it was this big storm front that came through like Ohio and then PA, and we had this thunderstorm the night before. So I don't know if you saw any part of that. It might have been southern Ohio.
Well, no, it might have been late at night when I'm sleeping. If it rains and I'm sleeping, I don't hear nothing.
Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh, wait. Brian's on.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
This could be good.
Son of a bitch.
Representing.
My Macco mask.
Yeah. I hope he didn't rob that liquor store.
No.
Oh, hey, let me tell you a story. This happened to me and my wife. We were at Home Depot a couple hours ago, and we're checking out, right? So a guy says, "Hey, that guy has a whole bunch of stuff under his coat." So we turn around. This dude has a Carhartt coat on, hood up, mask on, and his whole body looks square, like he had a whole bunch of boxes in it.
Wow.
And the girl was like, hey, and he just keep walking, right? So she goes, "I don't know what to do." Then the lady was like, "Just let him go. It's insured. Don't bother him." So a guy walks in. He goes, "Oh, I tried to get his license plate, but he took it off. He said there wasn't no license plate on it."
Yeah.
So he was a pro.
I know up here in New York, the policy is they'll follow you through the store, but once you pass that cash register, they can't follow you out. They have to get like the local PD or whatever, and that's the thing. If the guy can get past there, and out into if he's got a car waiting, he can probably get away with it.
Yeah, he had no license plate on.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
Ugh.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about SEMA that got canceled.
Yeah, saw that.
Man, that's rough, man. I mean,
yeah.
But I don't see any way around it. I don't see how they could have done it.
Yeah.
Even if they opened up 90%, they still had a limit on how many people could be in a building. And SEMA, they got 150, 200,000 people a day.
Right.
So how was you going to split that many people up?
No.
Yeah.
I think that was what they had to do, and not only that, because so many people are coming from so many different areas of the country.
Yeah, give them time to cancel.
I think they well not no. I think on their point they had to look at it like people are coming from all over the country, and we don't know what they're bringing with them.
That's
So
true.
for
That's
safety,
true.
everybody's going to that safety model now of like let's let's not get the CDC on our ass.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. But actually, they're coming from all over the world. You know, some of those sellers or and manufacturers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could be from anywhere. I've met with people from Japan and China, everywhere.
Yeah,
One of our not local, but one of our vendors, supply warehouses, they're having their expo online. It's going to be a virtual thing instead of going. So it's going to be really. I'm kind of curious on how it's going to be because when we go to the tool shows and the expo, I mean that's there to communicate, see the people, see product, touch product, ask questions, and talk to vendors. I think it's just going to be really kind of crazy trying to do that virtually or online or whatever. I don't know how that will actually pan out or whatever. So it's crazy.
yeah. You said you had the Matco thing coming up in next month or so.
Well, the Matco one will be in February. So
February, okay.
So, but actually this year it was going to be down in Florida. Was supposed to be it, and it hasn't been official yet, but it's pretty much come out saying that it's probably going to be canceled. So I don't know. I can't say that. Like I said, I haven't heard, but there's been a lot of talk about it and what to do because again, they paid for this stuff, ahead of time. It's crazy, like I said, on how to make that decision. I know.
Right.
I'm not ready to get on a plane. I could always drive down there. I mean, it won't be the first time, but
Yeah,
I'm still kind of not crazy about getting on a plane. So,
right.
Right.
man.
I guess what was the browser that this platform likes and doesn't like? Does
It
not-
likes Chrome.
it
But
likes-
he's gonna try to get on his phone now.
Yeah, he was using a
MacBook Pro,
MacBook. Yeah,
a real computer.
yeah.
Papa Squirrel said he's gonna pay off his credit card. Maybe we can get Christmas gifts this year.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad thing. I mean, on a personal level, if you can regroup a little bit and get the finances back in order, that's not bad.
Well, here's what I was thinking on my end, at least. That gives me a whole year to really concentrate on stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about builders. They can slow down now. They're probably stressed at this moment, getting ready.
Right.
So, I mean, everybody's taking a hit on every industry. It's not just cars.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Mark Warman addressed it today on I think it was on Instagram. But, he's big on Twitter, saying that he's going to miss all his friends and all. But you got to wonder. I don't remember what he had going for a build, but like you're saying, if a guy was running a little late on that build, now you don't have to burn that midnight oil and pay guys extra.
Yeah.
So.
A big part of my going there is to meet up with people, friends, and it's like a nice getaway. You know what I mean? Right. Even though it's a stressful week, I mean, you're really hustling and walking, but man, you get to see people you don't see all year, and
Yeah.
So I'm gonna miss that too.
Very true.
Yeah. Brian, you don't go, do you? See me?
It's been one of those things that I want to do, and every year when it comes around, it's just so hard for me to take a week off.
Mm-hmm.
I have to plan so far ahead of time with work about my collections and orders and stuff
Right.
like that, and it's really, really kind of hard just to walk away from a week of it. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things we've had. It's like I said. I can get tickets or passes through it, but again, like I said, it's just so far out and it's hard for me to plan that far. So maybe one day, I hope.
Now you don't. Now see, I got tricked into this having to stay the whole week. You know, you can go for 2 days and.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I understand. Like I said, it's just doing it. I mean, I guess really it's just setting up. It was like last week was the Ford National meetup in Carlisle, and I told my buddy that I was going to go up there, and just one thing led to another thing at work, and next thing you know, I'm like, man, I can't walk. I can't just drive off and take it. So
yeah.
You know, like, so when there's somebody saying, "Oh, I want a scanner," or "I want a toolbox," or this is messed up, how are you going to fix it?
I'll tell you what, Brian. The year you can go, I'll go with you. My wife, I pitched to my wife. I use Chassis John's logic, and I said to my wife, I said, "Listen, we've never been to Vegas. How'd you like to have a nice little vacation in Vegas? Well, there's a little thing going on the side, you know."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, yeah, maybe."
Oh, so, you did it right.
Hey, listen, been married a long time. I kind of learned the ropes, yo.
Well, I'm just really sorry that my blowgun blew your tree down.
Let me tell you something about this thing. This blowgun, I put the air fitting I put on here is a full flow 3/8 fitting.
Yeah.
And I'm running an 80-gallon dual stage compressor. When I pulled this trigger, like my hand, and when I covered the holes, it's an OSHA compliant. I figured I got to get rid of this thing. I don't think I have to get rid of this thing.
No.
I was blowing crap around my yard like I had my leaf blower on. I put my fingers over both of the holes, and it started making a whistling noise, and a dog 3 houses away started barking. I swear, I'm not making it. I swear to God, this dog like down around the block started barking when I did that.
I use it without the black tip.
Oh, just straight?
Yeah.
What makes it so powerful?
You know, it's called the Cyclone gun. And Brian, what's the part number? I don't have that number.
I don't have it in front of me.
I do have it. It is.
I'm kind of unprepared at the moment.
Boy Girl 4, BG4.
Yeah, blowgun 4.
BG4.
How much are they?
And I mean, I've had other ones, cheaper ones with like this. The one I use all the time is a Milton. It's a aluminum Milton with a rubber nozzle that's tapered, and I thought that was good. But I swear to God, when I pulled the trigger on this, it knocked a tree down in my backyard. I mean, really, I'm not, like Clay. When I do a tool review, I'm gonna tell it like it is. But I did use this at the shop. One of the guys had left this out at the other shop, and I just had to blow the body dust off me one day, and I said, let me pick that thing up. And I pulled the trigger, and I almost blew my pants off. I was like, Jesus, what the hell? And I know that they have a lot more losses on their air system than I have at home. I don't know what they did to this, Lewis, but get one.
Yeah. How much are they?
It's cheap. This is like what, Brian? Like around $40?
Yeah, $31.
Yeah.
See, your cheap is different than my cheap.
Oh, sorry.
Just message me, Lewis.
Okay.
And
unbelievable.
They do have adapters that go on the end of that.
I want to get an airflow meter and put it in line and now do a blowgun test. Because I have like 3 or 4 different blowguns. This thing defies logic. I mean, if there was like if it had a big body, I'd say there's a freaking turbo impeller in there or something. But there isn't.
It's a
That's
great
cool.
little, and I tell you, it's a great, I got 4 or 5 of them throughout the shop, and they're great little guns, man, and they'll blow some stuff, man. You gotta make sure you're wearing your safety goggles when you're blowing the chips off the drill press, but it blows.
I'm telling you, trees aren't safe.
Well, that's good, but you did get both boxes, right?
Yes, I did. And I got to tell you something. This is, you got to contact Brian, because to get a shirt like this, you see the back of that shirt, right?
That's pretty sweet.
I mean, this is one of the coolest deals in the world. But yesterday, after I got out of the pool, I said, I need another shirt. So I threw on one of these babies. One of these tie-dye guys.
Where's the rat fink one? Okay,
And I forgot, these are the ones your daughter's tie-dyed, correct?
right.
I didn't realize that till later in the night because
That
you know,
that shirt that one's was a limited edition, and that shirt's about 10 years old. That figure, I mean that pattern,
right.
and those were off of a special thing. I can't remember right offhand, but that's why they're only on one size.
Yeah.
The ones that are only that way.
Right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
Very cool. Yeah. It was a good day.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
Yeah.
I got a little tiny one, and I was blowing stuff. Well, listen to this.
Oh.
I almost got my bench done.
Okay.
So I had sawdust everywhere. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna blow it off. So I rolled the whole bench out into the driveway, and I hit it with my little blower. Mine, I got a little kid's blower compared to that, but it did good. But let me pull some pictures up here. You guys are gonna enjoy this. Okay, here's my bench or my saw. Did you see it flip?
Sweet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But wait a minute. My
Yeah.
tools are under it, so I gotta move my toolbox. Hold on. And you can see it. Alright, so it flips and then it's flush.
I tell you,
most
I've
of-
been thinking about this at night. Like, how would I do that and make it positively stop and lock? And you got me thinking all sorts of weird mechanical stuff, man. Articulated arms and spring latches. I mean, I want to know how you did it because the mechanical part of it intrigues me.
Well, what I did is I bought bearings and then I put the bearings inside the box. I made the box. Well, first I measured where I wanted to put my rod through. Then I had to get my distance to the top of the shelf or the top of the table. So I took a piece of cardboard and I put it up flush with the top of the counter, and then I flipped it over and then I measured where my miter saw was going to sit. So then I cut the cardboard down, so I knew I had to go 3 inches down, so that left my miter saw even with the table.
Right.
So that piece of cardboard gave me the exact, where the hole was, and then I cut my wood out, and
Okay, so you use
Made
the
my drawer.
rod, and the bearings are on the end of the rod like an axle.
yep,
Okay. So
and I put it right through the box.
when you flip it, does it have? What did you do with that? Is there like an assist when you flip it, or is there a spring to help you come back? Or
No, I set it right in the middle. The rod's going right through the middle of the box, so it kind of teeters.
Balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when you flip it, you hold on to it, you flip it, then you put a pin in or latches
Okay.
or however you want to do it.
okay, got it.
And then where I had the bearings, that hole is exact. But then the part on the bench, I made the hole oval so I could move it up and down so I could get the
Adjust it.
drawer, adjust it so it's even.
See, that's why I like going to guys' shops and seeing what they do because you'll find out like in my mind I may have this spider web of thought of how to do something, and then I'll go and see like Brian, you'll do it so much simpler. And I'm like, wow, why didn't I think it? But that's what you got to do. You got to see what other guys do to get those
Yeah.
ideas, to clear your own mind. Or sometimes you have a better idea and you can say, hey, listen, why don't you try this? Like this little gizmo I picked up works great on stuff like that. And, it's all about sharing the info, really.
It really is because I got a couple buddies and they're like engineers and hackers and and they overthink stuff all the time. I'll walk over like, no, wait a minute, just hit that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, I've been thinking about this all night.
See, what I was thinking of was like when you flip the saw, when it comes around, I was thinking of a latch like a hood latch that would positively grab a pawl and click, and now lock
What?
that table flush. And then you have to have a lever or a cable or something to release it to let it, because you don't want, I wouldn't want that to move when the saw was in use. That'd be my thought.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna stick a pin through,
That'll work.
and it'll keep it level and it'll hold it. The pin will be the exact size of the hole, so it's no movement.
Right.
But I've seen some guys use just regular latches,
Right.
like I don't know what you call those latches. But yeah, I mean,
Like a door lock one, the one you lift up and slide over. Or
Yeah,
something.
I've seen people use those.
A barrel bolt, a barrel slide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure, that'll
Yeah,
work.
all that stuff work.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do the pin. I might do the latches too. I don't know.
You know, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get just something that works, even if it's a bent nail. Just like, there you go. No, really, because then once I live with it, I know that in another day or 2 days after, like, the majority of stuff is flushed out of my mind, I'm going to come back to it and say, oh, yeah, bent nail's stupid. I know what I can do. I got to do, because now I'm on to the next phase. I can think clearly. But I got to use, like, a rusty rivet. Of course. What was I thinking, bent nail?
Yeah, well, that's on my old tool truck. If the cable came down, the shifter cable, and that had rusted the clip away, and it popped off one day. So sitting on the side of the road, I put it on, found a nail. It was still in there. It's probably driving around in Ecuador right now with a nail holding the shift cable on.
I was driving my 71 Challenger at the time, and I go to the auto parts store a few towns away. It was an automatic. I put the car in park, and I felt something was wrong with the shifter. And then I pushed the button and moved it, and it just flopped back and forth. I was like, okay, what happened? I roll under the car, and that wasn't easy because it was low, and I saw the shift rod hanging. The factory clip had broken. So again, I'm looking around on the street, and I found a finishing nail. I'm like, perfect. Put it in there, bent it with my hand. Like, I think I sold the car with that nail in there. Because you're never going to go back and change it.
Yeah.
As long as it's holding.
Until it breaks again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like some of Chassis John's work on his car.
Right.
Know?
That stuff needs to be changed. Yeah, he's going to do a good job on that, I know.
I've done some crazy stuff to get the car out the door, at that 5 o'clock on a Friday.
Oh, haven't we all? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's one thing I love about on my route when you're going around and you walk into a shop and one guy had, it was a Ford and it blew out all the spark plugs. So the guy that got it out the door wrapped the spark plugs up with electrical tape. Terry.
Oh, what up? Speaking of Fords, I figured out what's wrong with my clunk.
Oh,
it's it's a drive shaft, but what the problem is, it's an aluminum drive shaft, and I guess inside where the yoke goes in dries out. So you got to take it apart, grease it real good, stick it back in, and it takes that clunk away. Because when the rear moves, it's giving you that clunk.
Oh, so you don't have Zerk fittings on that U-joint?
No, it's two-piece drive shaft, right?
The slip fit, slip fit. It's the carrier bearing.
Oh.
Or the hanger bearing, whatever.
Yep, I did some YouTube investigating, and it's happened to a lot of people.
Okay.
They grease it, put it back. Yeah, they grease it, put it back in, and it's good. Long as you don't go too long before it starts to oval out the what do you call them?
So if you see metal shavings, you know it went too long.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
That's the key. What's happening now, everyone?
Oh, man.
Brian, I'm sorry I interrupted your story, brother.
Oh, it's okay. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore.
Oh, man.
We were discussing air. What do you call that thing? An air gun?
Impact?
Yeah.
No, blow.
No. The guy that taped the
spark plugs?
Spark plugs and stuck them back in the hole to get it out the door.
Wow.
And it finally blew back out again. And the guy was like taking spark plugs out, wondering why there was electrical tape all in there. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I watched a guy weld a crank. I mean, the harmonic balancer back onto the crank because the bolt broke off.
Oh,
wow.
So he lined the bolt back up. Lined it back up and then tack welded it.
wow.
That's terrible.
We had a semi-critical bolt at the shop a while ago and it needed a heel coil, and it was too late. We didn't have one, and I literally took a small piece of wire and threaded it into the threads of the bolt and worked it into the hole, and that thing held. I mean, it held over the weekend. We didn't get around to fixing it to get right until like Wednesday, and it held.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Same idea.
Yeah. I've done. I've squeezed a hole full of JB Weld and put a bolt in with a little bit of grease on it.
Yeah.
And let it set up, and then unthreaded it and threaded it back in. And
well, years ago, back in the early '90s, JB Weld had a product that you could repair. And I used it to repair a hole on an intake manifold. You basically put the one part of it into the hole, let it sit for like 10 minutes. Then you would turn the bolt in and let that sit for like 2 hours. Then you took the bolt out and you'd apply like an activating agent and let that sit overnight. And the next day you had a threaded hole that you could use. And it would take maybe like 70% of the rated torque value. But I tried finding that stuff again for a little while ago. Couldn't find it. So I don't know if they felt it really didn't work, or maybe who knows? Maybe they got sued.
Yeah.
Maybe it lost its strength once it got hot.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Actually, Terry, I changed the head of my bass drum a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I put a nice Evans. What the hell's the name of it? It's the John will remember. I was going for a lower thud, and I noticed that on one of the lugs, I was turning the lug out, and there's a barrel, the threaded barrel that goes into the lug on the drum, was spinning with the, with the lug, with the bolt. I'm like, oh. So I said, what am I going to, I'm going to do to fix this? I was able to just grab that with a pair of pliers. And
that's what I'm saying. Grab with a pair of pliers and just be able to hold it, not too tight where it's now, clinching over that I call it a T thread, whatever that thing is. But
yeah.
Did you see that new drum head that they came out? It looked like a speaker.
No.
I guess it's called speaker head or something like that. It looked just like, it looked just like a speaker. And I'm like, I might have to get one of those just to keep my cats out of my drum because they go in there and they sleep in the pillow.
Yeah, right.
But they said it's got like a nice thud to it, and it's good for speakers. So if you're micing your drums up or whatever, it'll be good for that. But I got to try that.
That's the problem. I was trying to make it quieter, muffled, because in the room I'm in, it's like everything booms. It was way too loud. So I was trying to I want that dead thud. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, but I
got my stuff with pillows, and I think there's cat hair. There's all kinds of stuff, blankets in there. It's ridiculous. And what I want to do is actually, I want to I'm thinking about getting that speaker just to keep them out of there. And then, like I said, I think it's going to change the characteristics because down here it's pretty bright.
Yeah.
And even with the rasp from the drum, the snare, it just rings, man. And I gotta try to get that because you have believed like when you hit the kick drum, you hear the snare.
Yeah, when I hit my tom, I hear the snare.
And you hit your tom, yeah.
And that bugs the hell out of me. It shouldn't, I don't want.
There's a way to get rid of it. I think I gotta get on because I did it one time before, but that was years ago. But because I'm gonna start getting back into drumming.
If you find out, let me know because I have that exact problem, and I don't want to. If you loosen the snare, it could get worse because
it gets worse. Yes, because it starts. Yeah, exactly. Now it starts bouncing all over the place.
Right. It's a sympathetic resonation, is what it is. It's one drum talking to the other one, and the other one is answering.
Yeah. And upsetting. Tell them to shut up.
Brian, you don't have the problem with the bass guitar. Brian doesn't have that problem with the bass guitar. It doesn't do that.
So Terry, what was good on your? Or go ahead.
No, go on.
Terry, what was good on your end of the world?
Oh, with the hurricane that happened yesterday?
No, I was meaning car stuff, but yeah, tell us about your experience with the hurricane.
Well, I got my stuff from Chassis Works. That same setup, I think. What's his name? What's it called? Oh my God, I forget his name. Chassis John. The same setup he was doing.
Chassis guy, yeah.
I'm sorry. Hold on a sec. I'm sorry.
One of those nice.
I'm glad I'm not going to school because I'm not going to hear the end of that.
Who's the macro guy? What's his name? Right.
Chassis dude, what's it called?
Yeah.
That
I know
Ray,
that
that
he's
radio
not
guy,
outside,
that Ray, yeah, that Ray.
But that same stuff that he had on his, I think it was a 68 or 67 Camaro.
Bless you.
This is strong. I know you deal with pools, but I'm gonna do the same stuff that he has, the 4-link from the Chassis Works, and I'm telling you, it's good to have rich friends. Good to have friends that have money, because this guy, you remember the Ford 9-inch that I had? I had a Ford 9-inch from off of a Detroit Speed setup. There you go. And the guy came by Nelson's house, and he wanted to, like Nelson had did the 69 Camaro, Detroit speeded out. I mean, it was beautiful, right? Hotchkiss front suspension, coilovers all around, 4-link, it was beautiful. The guy's coming in to pick the car up, right? Nelson has a car in the corner that has that's on airbag, and the car is really low, right? So the guy's picking the car up that day, and he goes, "What's up with that car over there?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing." Nelson hits the button, the car jumps up. The guy loses his mind. He has to have on his 69 Camaro. So he's pretty much like, get rid of all that stuff.
Wow.
And get rid of all that stuff and do whatever you got to do to get my car to do that, So I got all that stuff for a song.
Nice.
Wow.
But I have a 12 bolt, and I like a 12 bolt. I'm not a Ford 9-inch under a Chevy guy. I like a 12. I mean, if you're racing the car, cool, but you get some Moja axle. And to me, the only thing that's really, it's a strong rear end, a 12 bolt. I know the 9 is a little bit stronger, but I like the fact that it's bolted in axle. But we can fix that with Moja ends. We can fix that.
Well, yeah, in the 12 bolt in my car, I'm doing just that. I have 32 spline Moser axles on an Eaton True Track posi. I kept the C clips because I heard that when you go with the Ford bearing conversions, they leak a lot, and I didn't want axle grease leaking.
Well, you got to get those Torino bearings.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm like 5 years with this setup, and absolutely no problems whatsoever.
Yeah. So I sold the Ford 9-inch. It's Ford 9-inch with a 433 gears in there. And I'm like, I got 12 volts, and I don't want to put a Ford 9-inch back there. I mean, like I said, if I was racing the car, I almost bought a 69 Firebird. That I would have set up to race. And I would have put that Ford 9-inch back there.
I'll tell you this. Besides, the reason the Ford 9-inch is so nice and strong, and the reason the Dana is even better than that, is that the ring and pinion relationship changes. It rises up onto that ring gear. It contacts. It's got a more of a contact patch.
Right.
But besides that, so if you're not going to really race the car and put a lot of power to it, the only other really great benefit on the 9-inch is it has straight splined axles. So you can cut them and re-spline the axles where you can't do that with a 12 bolt.
No.
Spline. So if you're not doing any of that, like I wasn't, I like, shit, man, keep it a 12 bolt.
Keep it a 12 bolt. And besides, I like the way the 12 bolt looks, like to my Ford friends when they see the car passing by, and they get the view at the back end of I'm concerned about that type of stuff. That, they get a good visual of my car getting smaller and smaller. They see that 12 bolt,
Right. Well, you see, that's my thing. Right. I happen to be running, I have a set of Cal Custom finned valve covers that I bought in like 1977. And I had the matching finned rear end cover. And I did them in black wrinkle, highlighted the fins. And I want to see that, man. That's a vintage part on there. That's, it belongs with that car.
I definitely
I don't want to see that smooth cover.
Yeah. I just
you're getting Chassis John fired up.
I know that.
It's okay, Terry.
Look at Brian. I couldn't wait. Go ahead.
And now, until you put the Coyote motor in, you might need that 9-inch. Okay.
And worry about it then.
We're changing. It's no more LS Terry. It's going to be the Coyote. We're going to get a little tattoo. We're going to get you on there, man. We're going to make stickers.
Right.
We're going to have the dude that painted you as the king. We're going to have him paint you into a coyote, okay?
On the other side of the band now.
Right.
Yeah. You can change. It's okay. It's 2020. It's all right, man. You can change.
I will tell you, Brian, if I was a Ford guy, I would definitely be a Torino man. I like the Torino.
Yeah.
One of the best fastback roof lines I think ever made is that Torino, the fastback Torino.
That's a lot of car, though. That's a lot of car.
And I'm not a Ford guy, but I do. Now, I'll tell you, back in the day, my buddy bought '69. I don't think it was a '70. Torino. I mean, I got in this car and I felt like it was in a rattle trap. There was like no insulation, rubber floor mats, but the freaking car had a 429 in it with a 4-speed with like 411 gears. Maybe they were deeper. It might have been lower. I don't know. And this car was a freaking beast. It was. I mean, you couldn't really drive it in bad weather. You just couldn't do it.
No.
And it was
No, I would definitely be it would either be a 69 Mustang, that's the Ford for me, or either I'll take a 70. But then after that, it's a Torino. It's Torino. I always liked the Torino. Even my SSP, I had the red Torino. You know, it would always be a Torino.
right.
I don't
Even
care
though
what.
Hey, Matthew, hey, Brian, I do have a Ford in my yard, you know.
You do
Yeah,
have
he
a
does.
what?
Yeah.
I know,
Yep.
you got that Mercury. You keep teasing me about that LS crap.
Yeah. The first thing he told me when he showed me, he was like, "Oh, LS is going in it."
Oh, that's gonna be a drip ride, man. I got the transmission and the engine right in my garage, man. I'm gonna be upsetting a lot of people.
You need to put a Coyote in it.
Nah, man. Come on.
Come on, man. You can be
Under
down there
$5
on your
grand, it's
drum
all fun.
howling. It's all right. I'm gonna get Sassy John to switch over too in that Pontiac.
I don't know about that. That's John's card. I don't know if he's ever gonna switch up with that.
I know. I just
Yeah.
want to get him fired up.
You know,
That's a good thing. Do you think John will ever switch? Put it in the comments below. We want to know what your opinion is.
in another one of the old magazines I was reading, I found something last week and I had to send it to John. Here's this guy. He had a 1970 Camaro and he put an 80 nose on it and an 80 tail.
Wow, look
He
at
did
that.
the same thing John did, but this is like from back in the day. And there it is. He made himself, his race car. Did the same thing John did. So I sent it to him like, dude, this guy was like following you.
He might have seen him. Yeah, he might have seen John somewhere.
I don't know if where he was from. It's Wayne.
we
Wayne-
better get the actual facts out and follow the timeline. Maybe John.
Yeah, he
wasn't
probably
the first.
copied him.
Ooh.
And this guy was from Jax, Florida. So at the time when he did this, John was up here, and this guy was in Florida. Now John's in Florida. This guy could be.
Yeah, we need to look at the timestamp.
It was in a magazine that was like the car show circuit in the late '70s. So, but it was
John
kind of ironic.
in 1982.
82.
Yeah, it was very. It was ironic. Yeah.
This is a little.
So Terry, we were talking about SEMA. What's your thoughts?
I'm not surprised. I kind of expected it because.
But it still hurts.
It still hurts. It still hurts because you got all these people coming from all over the world, and you know how it is. I mean, it's back to back to back. I mean, it's like you can't really walk freely without bumping into people, especially when the first 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It's beautifully uncomfortable. I mean, it's wonderful that the people are there. You turn your head and you're like, oh, there's what's the name. Oh, there's what's the name. People that you see on TV. It's wonderful, but at the same time, you got to be safe. And again, I'm not surprised. I kind of expected it, but it's still, I'm disappointed, But it's 2021, and I'm just thinking about all the people that got invested in it, like Ed Beers. He's got to bring that van, but he says, nope, we'll just bring it 2021. What's going to be the new norm for 2021? I mean, it could be the same thing this year, next year. So unless something happens where vaccines or whatever, but even still, think about what would have happened. You would have been talking to people; they would have had masks on and everything like that. It's a different, you're scared to talk to people. You're scared to, now you get at these social distances. But, you go to SEMA, what's the first thing you do? Hey, what's up, man? Yo, how you doing, I hope those days aren't gone, but.
Some people are saying they are. They're saying that there's going to be handshakes going to be a thing of the past. I think I told you, it was about a month or more ago. I was in a record store. The first day my buddy reopened his record store, the used records. And I met that guy in there who was my doppelganger. This guy could have been me. We had the same life, the same hobbies, the same everything, same careers almost. And at one point, he just looked at me. He goes, "Listen, man." He goes, he says, "I'm not sick." He goes, "I'm safe." He says, "Can I shake your hand?" I was like, "Yes, you can shake my hand." I was like, "Because I'm not sick either." I know there's like that human contact, man. We need human contact. You got to have like that hug. You hug your friends.
You know what? That's going to bring back who really likes you. You know what I mean? If they're willing to hug you,
right?
You know that guy's, or girl or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's cool. I mean that's the cool part about it.
Just
weed out certain people.
Just don't have your wife around when they all start hugging you. Because hey, wait a minute.
Listen, my wife, man, she'll pull her knife out in a minute.
Yeah.
You wish you had the corona after that, right?
she'll tell her, "Hey, back up. That's enough hugging."
She definitely deserves to be in the hood of that car for sure.
Yeah.
John's saying he's going to have a SEMA Tiki bar and pool party. He's got the right stuff at that Tiki bar.
Tiki. Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Hey, John, you need Tiki? You need the Tiki King there? What's up?
Yeah.
Now, I was watching the thing, Tammy from Tamco. I guess she's going to announce something that she's going to do, since SEMA got canceled. So, I'm willing to throw out some ideas or maybe take some ideas in and see. We might be able to do something, virtually and connect up that week. You know what I mean? So if you have any ideas, man, let's kick it around. I mean, she's gonna do something. She didn't say what, but I think she got something planned. So we keep our eye on her and see what she's up to. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, a huge Zoom room party.
Sure.
Zoom.
Yeah.
How many people can get in Zoom?
I think 100 maybe.
100 Zoom people?
It's up there. It's pretty high.
The free version is like, I was just talking to Clay about this. The free version, I think you can have, it's around less than 100, but it's only a 45-minute time period. If you pay, like we did that for the radio show, we bought the next package up. It's like $15 a month, and you can have 1,000 people in, and it's unlimited time.
So how do you, are people talking to each other?
Just like this. It's just like this, except with more people, everybody's picture gets smaller.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem with that. You have to tell everybody cut your mics off until your time to talk.
The host
because if they
do it for them, yeah.
Yeah, but see, people are slick. They'll cut it back on.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the only reason I don't use it, because anybody that jumps into the chat room, they can jump on screen.
Yeah.
And then if I throw them out, they can jump right back in.
Oh, so that's what Mike Reiner probably had that night when he did that. He used Blue Jeans, which I used to use, and that's the reason I got off Blue Jeans, because anybody could jump in and I couldn't control it.
That happened
a
couple times.
Yeah, they had some porn pop up in the chat room one time. Yeah, so
Lewis was just upset because we were all watching the porn instead. We weren't paying attention to the show.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we're talking here.
Right.
So
on topic, people.
But yeah, that Zoom would be cool or something. I mean, maybe we could travel somewhere. I don't know. I mean, just throw out some thoughts.
Yeah.
Email me or text me or whatever.
Yeah, we should
kick it around
and all that. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe
Really cool.
because we're saving a lot of money not going. I mean, SEMA week is man, you blow through some cash. Yeah. Especially if I take my wife, because she likes to eat. You know what I mean? Man, last year I took my wife and my daughter. Man, they was killing me.
Yeah, man, Louis, I'm still upset about that. We were supposed to go to was it Steve Darnell's place?
Yeah.
We were supposed to go to Steve Darnell's place, and he's got to take his daughter to the dub party. She's like, "Terry, you going to the dub party? I ain't going to the dub party."
Hey, man, I had to show her what's happening.
Oh, man, I told you that, man. I was like, dub party, Steve Darnell. But then if I was to see, take off 20 years, it'd be like,
yeah.
Well, maybe 10.
So yeah, man, we everybody should throw in some ideas, man. I mean, We might be able to do something, and we're all on the East Coast. You know what I mean? So pretty much we can maybe meet in North Carolina or something. I don't know.
Oh, we have a Zoom jam session. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, maybe meet at Lou's house. He got a big property.
Have
I'm
a
gonna go to
Zoom
Delaware
jam.
because I'm thinking
I'll
about
bring that
moving. I
road
want
over
to
there.
check
You see that road
Maryland.
keyboard back there? I'll bring that. Ray, you bring the drums?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people around North Carolina. Tammy's close to there. Nelson's close to. I mean,
Right.
Madavi's in Georgia?
Georgia, I think. Yeah,
Madavi's in Georgia, yeah.
that might be a plan. I mean, maybe for 2 days, maybe a weekend on the weekend or something. I don't know.
We could probably talk our prospective guest for tonight, Clay, to do something. He just did a big thing about a month or two ago down at his shop. He had, because he's a big YouTube influencer. He does a lot of YouTube,
Yeah.
like almost daily. And he had a bunch of his YouTube guys. They do a yearly party, and he must have had like 40 or more people down there. And this is right in the middle of the COVID thing. And they all just came in from all over the place. And
Where's he located?
He's in Boonville, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
He said it's the gateway to Hades because it's hot as hell. I believe
Yeah, I
him.
bet.
I believe him.
Hey, we go down south, we can go noodling.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just kick out some ideas. I'm always down for something, man. I mean, you know, road trip.
Yeah.
Ooh, lobster. You
Not
see
the
that?
lobster. No. We need some Maryland crabs. No,
Crab
that's.
cakes are good
Hey,
too.
you know what?
We'll get
Yeah,
some crabs. and
Crabs,
shrimp
yeah,
on 'em.
some blue crabs or whatever. I'm with
Yep,
I
with
love
it.
that's
crab
that's
cake.
what we need.
Yeah.
it. Crab shack. Yeah, get some crab cakes.
The only thing is,
I-
Papa Squirrel's
I
in
know a guy,
California.
don't worry.
Papa Squirrel's in California. We have to fly him in. Him and
Let
Debbie.
him fly him in. Or via satellite, Papa Squirrel, you know?
Yeah.
Send him a plate.
I don't know. I couldn't sit on a plane. I don't know.
I heard a thing today that said the planes are the safest place to travel right now. They got
Yeah.
those new filters and they got the infrared lights.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. I always get stuck, and I'm a big guy, but I always get stuck next to the guy twice the size of me, and that wants to lay on my shoulder and slobber and snore
Listen.
on me.
That was
And
me
you,
on
you're
the.
by the window. You're not even in the aisle. You're in the window seat.
Listen.
Dude.
On our way back from SEMA last year, the seats, everybody spread out. My wife was like across from me. My daughter was a couple seats up. My niece was behind me. So I'm next to this guy, right? So I wake up and my head is on his shoulder. and my wife's cracking up, right? I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. I slobbed on your shirt. I'm wiping it off. I was cold asleep. He was like, all right, man. You're good.
Nah, yeah.
But you know what? Louis Lee ain't small. Louis Lee, you know, the guy's probably one. If you weren't the size you were, he probably was like, get off me.
Yeah, I'm laying on. I was on him good too, man. I was like,
yeah.
listen, coming back from SEMA, man, you are beat, dude. I'm telling you, you're tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially running
Yeah,
around.
never.
You welcome that plane ride because you put your feet up and just go out, man, because you be walking.
Yeah. Yep. So I was that oversized guy. I was sleeping on, dude.
Well, I'm a little disappointed that's not happening, like I said, but I can understand. I mean, because
Yeah.
not that I was having second thoughts, but you know, like I was asking
up in
myself,
the air.
you really want to put yourself out there like that, you know?
Yeah. Cause there's no way to have all those people and limit how many people can be in the building.
Right.
It's just way too many people.
And think if they did limit the people in the building, now you're one of the people that can't get in. You spent all your time and money to get there, and now
Yeah.
you can't get in.
Yeah, because you know
Yeah.
the celebrities are going to be lined up first. The manufacturers, then you know they're going to be real picky on who's going in first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll do it like the old days when it was the gas crunch. You odd and even plates. They'll
Right.
just hand you a number and you get in for your odd number, you're in, and you got to get out.
That's why I had
Blow
2
the
sets of
whistle.
plates.
Yeah, tell me about it. I used to borrow my dad's off his Buick.
That's what I wanted to do to James Bond DB5 and have him flip around at the push of a button, but I couldn't figure it out, you know?
Back in the day with the tunnel ram, it drank a lot of fuel.
I'll tell you what I did. Adam will get a kick out of this. I had my GTO, I was driving that, or I had my Camaro, both of them, and I had my street bike. I was riding a Honda 550 at the time. And we had a guy who would sell the guys in the shop gas no matter what day it was. Like, he'd call up and say, send somebody over. And the guy would go over and fill up his car. So, yeah, I found a 24-gallon gas tank. I would drive it home, back it in all the way to the garage and park it, and I would just siphon the gas out of that for the motorcycle, which was like, 4-gallon tank would go a week on that. So I had my own little fuel supply, my fuel dump at the house, But that's what you had to do.
Back in the early 90s, when they changed ethanol content in gasoline, the German tanks were coated with rust preserve. And what would happen when they changed the gas, it ate that film away, and it would get sucked down into the fuel filter. I mean, the fuel pump,
the pickup,
and the car would, the pickup, and the car wouldn't run.
Right.
So we had to change all the tanks, and that's when they started putting plastic tanks in because of that. We were changing.
That was actually when they went to MTBE. That stuff was nasty. That was the MTBE era before ethanol. Oh my God, that was bad.
Yeah. And so, of course, you couldn't run that gas in anything. So we were, siphoning the gas out and put them in 55-gallon barrels.
Yeah.
And the shop foreman was like, I don't know what we're going to do with all that. Well, I was still on a carburetor. I still was driving my Mustang. So I had like free gas for forever.
Yeah.
Nice.
You probably still have some.
Okay, speaking of... Okay, I got a tech question. Ray, this is one of your radio station questions.
Uh-oh.
The flex fuel.
Yeah.
I never caught on how that works. What's the difference and how does that work? Because my caddy has it, my wife's car.
Now, it's ethanol. Now, specifically, what do you mean? Because the question I had in the beginning when they first came out with them, I had a guy work for me, and he had a Monte Carlo, and it was a flex fuel car. And he was bragging how he could just switch between gas or flex fuel on the fly. And I said, okay, how does that car know what to, what are the electronics, or what's the mechanism that lets that car understand the composition of the fuel coming through that line and then change everything up in the instant? And it starts in the tank. There's actually a sensor back in the tank that reads that fuel. I'm a little light on this now because it's been a few years since I played with it. I was waiting to see what the failure factor was going to be, which probably be coming around now on the cars that were like 09s and 10s and whatever. But it's all, the computer end of it, for the most part, is easy. The computer can just, the program is mapped, so it knows what to do. But it's the sensors, and the sensor in the fuel tank is the most important one, because that looks at that actual content of the fuel.
What's the benefits of switching over to
it's
ethanol?
Cheaper. It's cheaper to buy at the pump. The problem is it doesn't have the energy, so you may use a little more of it. It's not like ethanol. It doesn't have the energy of real gas. And plus it eats fuel lines and anything rubber, so they didn't tell us about that. But yeah, for a car that's designed to use it, it's fine. The electronics kick in, change the timing. It kind of knows what's going on. So for a daily driver car, you're good.
How much cheaper is it?
I was going to put that in the Trailblazer, actually, because they have a setup where you pretty much run, you disconnect it from the rails and you run it to this piece and then it goes to the rail. But you also have to do something with the computer. Your injector's got to be set up for it too. You got to have different injectors. And the downside of it, you're going to get a little more power and everything like that. But the downside is that fill your tank up, take away 33% of that tank, that fuel, and there you have it. It burns quicker.
Right.
Does it?
It burns a lot quicker, 33% quicker than than normal fuel. So
I haven't looked at a pump recently to see the prices, but I know when the guy that I worked that was working for me, he was paying about 30 cents a gallon cheaper than we were paying for regular gas at the time. So it was significant. I mean, it's not like hundreds of thousands of dollars in a month unless you're a cross country salesman. But over the course of years, it would add up.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and then you got to try to find the gas tank that has a fuel station that has it.
Well, that was it. Back when they first came out with it, they were fewer and far between. Like we had a bunch around here because we're kind of metropolitan, even though we're not the city. But I would imagine in the rural areas you weren't going to find it. But that was great because you could put regular gas in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if what would happen if you put regular non-ethanol gas in one of those cars. That's a question I always wondered about and never got the answer to. But I don't know. But yeah, John said, he kind of backed up. The valve timing and ignition changes. It's all the computer parameters change on the fly.
Yeah, I was putting gas in, and I'm looking at the little back window in the Cadillac, and it has flex fuel, but it's nowhere else on the car.
That means your gas cap is green, I think, right? Or yellow.
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 Yep.
Yeah, yellow.
Green's diesel.
Right. Don't do that.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was some color other than black.
Yeah, so I didn't notice it until I seen the little sticker, and you could barely see it. I'm like, I'm looking at the glass. I'm like, okay. So then I started, I figured I'd ask the question because I never really researched.
Yeah, John said evaporation's a factor. The whole thing, that's great. I don't think you want to put that in the car and store the car because, again, with the evaporation factor and the volatility, it's going to go kind of flat fast.
Mm-hmm.
So but for driving it every day, no worries. Yeah.
I think Sheetz might have it. The Sheetz gas station?
We don't have it yet.
Yeah, certain places have it. But you can get performance out of it. There's guys that run strictly like all these Japanese cars, they run all E85 and they're tuned and run. And like I said, you have, I know it has a lot to do with cooling. It runs at a cooler temperature.
Right. It's like alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest problem with ethanol that way though is water. So it's just like you said, it's like running a what is it?
That's why you want to use something like this. You want to use StarTron, which is actually a fuel stabilizer. I use this all the time.
Ray puts in a commercial.
Right, in his basement.
Well, I have him on the show a lot, so I got to take care of him.
In his basement, he got everything.
All right, like to remove water from your tank, you want to use StarTron.
And if you want to get rid of those pesky germs, try Germ-X by Procter & Gamble.
Hey, John Day, he has some fuel stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Well.
I'm sure John's got some cool kicking stuff. Yeah. Yeah, phase separation. That's exactly what happened. I bought a little thing. It's kind of cool. It's a little a test kit to check the amount of ethanol in your gas. You just need a fresh sample. You put it in this bottle, and you let it sit, and it's graduated, and it'll show you how much. So at least you know you're getting what you pay for.
Listen, the guys in my car club, man, they take it serious, dude. They carry those around with them when they go race. They want to make sure they're getting what they're getting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my question of the day.
That's a good one, and you're okay. You're totally covered with that. Yeah.
So I might try it next time I go to the station. I'm gonna see what the prices look like. If it's a big difference, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Well, throw it in, make sure the sensors are working right.
Now my truck has a sign on it that says no E45 or E40.
E85.
E85, yeah. It says no. Why is that?
It's not set up to run.
Oh, because they don't have the sensors. Okay, I got you.
It's not set up to run ethanol or E85.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can, with E85, with E85, you can almost like put double the amount of liquid for air fuel. We had a car up on Sunday up in Burtonsville here. He had a blower motor that was all E85, and that's what he was running. And the motor set up, and like I said, you just can't mix it. there's only like 3 places around here that sells E85. So you got to plan your trips pretty good or carry a lot of gas around.
Yeah, you gotta to get E85 around here. You gotta go on the computer what gas station sells E85 and find out.
Yeah.
They have
look
an
at-
app
look
on
at-
the phone that'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, look
So
at
the
Chuck-
E85 is the flex fuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Let me
the
test you down,
the
Jeff.
pump now is 10. It's E10. And they've been trying to bump that to 20, and the manufacturers have been fighting it tooth and nail because they claim the cars aren't set up for it, and the cars are going to fail, and it's going to, and so the gas companies think, well, we don't care. You guys should retool on your end. And they're saying, no, you guys, just don't do this. They've been winning so far, but hopefully they'll still stick it out because I don't even like the 10.
No.
Yeah.
Brian, what's the grand plan for the Mustang when you get it back together? In the dream plan for like the engine.
Well, I want to run my whatchamacallit, the I want to put the Hillborn back on it.
Nice.
I want to get carbureted.
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, part of me like to say I can just computerize the whole thing and have turn of the key and do it, but I'm too much old school, and I like that tinker to make sure it works before I leave.
What year Mustang, Brian?
66 fastback.
Okay, nice.
I am really thinking about. I've run it by him before, but I'm thinking about getting with Tori on this and getting a deal on a pair of dual throttle bodies, taking off the carburetors off my car and putting 2 throttle bodies on it,
Yeah.
and going electronic.
I had a tunnel ram on it. I had a cross ram. The Hillborn. I mean, I played with everything on it. And like I said, the problem with the Hillborns, I couldn't run a hood. I mean, I had too high of stacks, and it didn't last very long. They didn't like it without a hood.
I happen to have a set of Hillborns up in my den, and it's got the angled stacks on it.
Yeah, I love that look, and I'm, like I said, a huge fan of that. So
I actually talked to them out in California, and they will take it and convert it to EFI. And they just all you really see are the fuel rails, and it's about $2,000 to do the conversion.
Yeah,
Hey, Brian.
there's a guy. Yeah.
No. I was gonna. Did you ever think about going LS?
Hey, Terry, time out. When you go Coyote, I'll go LS, okay?
It ain't gonna happen. Then I'm sorry. Go.
It ain't going, oh, come on, man.
Continue on. Look at Jesse
Or, hey,
John.
how about if you buy a 55 and I'll buy a 56?
Oh boy!
Yeah. It'll be a 56 looking at 55 looking like a 56. That's what'll happen.
Trying to stick the nose on a 5, that's no problem.
They're close enough. Nobody ever knows the difference.
There's a difference. See, that's what you're wrong. There's a difference, man.
No, but Terry, you're right. There is, and we all know it. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm driving a '65 Pontiac GTO. I mean, you can't confuse that car, except for the 3 other years that for the basic body style. I was in the gas station the other day, and a guy, he's an old black guy. He says to me, "Oh, dude, nice car." I'm like, "All right, thumbs up, thank you." He goes, "Pontiac." I'm like, "Right." He said, "66?" Like, no, man, 5. Another guy, he's in a 64? No, 65. Another guy, 67? No, 65. Come on. So they're
It's
close.
all in the face. It's all in the face.
They're close. They're close, but they're just not
They're close.
close.
You got to put it on the license plate so they know. The front plate.
Let me think. A 64. Let me see that. Well, it's different. Yeah, 64,
64.
65.
Big difference. 64,
Yeah.
the lights are side by side. 5,
Yeah,
6, and
yeah.
7, they're up and down. But
Yeah.
the back of the car
Yeah.
No,
changed.
66, 67. Yeah, that's the big difference. But a 65 and 64.
Every year, the car got longer, and the back lights changed in every year from 4 to 7.
I know when I sent you the rat thing.
Yeah.
I know
yeah,
it was a
yeah.
64, but that was the only way it came though. So you had to do some body mods.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
That's the 64. That is so cool. I'm like afraid to take it out of the box, but I want to find a place for it. It's got to find a.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let me see if I got this right. I'll make sure out of my mind's eye. 64 GT, the headlights are side to side.
Correct.
65, they went up and down. Went up and down.
Yes.
And then they carry that up and down until 67.
7.
No,
67.
67, it still was up and down.
Right.
68 was when they changed it.
68, the whole body changed.
Oh, the whole body, the whole body changed, yeah.
That's like the Chevelle now.
Right. 69 is my favorite year for the GTO, I must say.
Okay.
But I would take a 67, 66. Those are nice.
That was the slant find. The 68s, they went to like Coke bottle. Same as the Chevelle. The same year.
Same body style.
They changed. Chevelle stayed the same till basic body till 7, and 68 the Chevelle changed. Same thing with the GTOs and the Buick and the old Buick.
Yep.
GM
I was
did
just trying
that.
to figure out the front fascia because I'm just thinking about it. Because 65 is the one I like. Because you know what it is? The 64 and 65 Chevelle and GTO. I mean, they get respect more so the GTO, but the Chevelle. I mean. You know what I'm saying? That was like where people consider them the launch years. I would imagine 64 and 65, where the 66, 67 are the most popular ones out of that gen, I would think.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the 65 is a pretty looking car in the Chevelle and the GTO.
Yeah.
If you look at it, I mean,
Chevelle's go, I like a 7. I really do. I like the 67. I like the sail panel rear roof.
yes,
They did on a Pontiac as well. The Chevelle, I think, changed more. Just like a more drastic change to me in my mind's eye than the Pontiacs did. But yeah, I mean,
no doubt.
everybody sees it a little different,
and is it true that what's it called, the 66, 67 GTO quarter panels are about a foot longer?
Every year they got a little longer.
Okay.
Up to 67, yeah.
So even still, 66 and 67 GTO, you can't. The quarter panels are different.
No.
Wow.
Yes, they are. They are different. Yes, you can't.
Yeah, they're
change.
different.
Can't change. And the rear panel is different. Every year they got longer. Yeah. You could maybe take the wheel well opening may be about the same, and maybe pieces of it are the same, but the whole panel is definitely different. Yeah.
Bill got fat. What the hell? What was Chevelle?
Did you see the Chevelle that the Ring brothers built?
Oh God, anything they build is unbelievable.
It's wait, what's it called? I did a story on it in my magazine. Recoil is the name of the car.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is a beast. Oh my God, it's a beast.
I still think they can't pop that Javelin. I mean, I'm not a Javelin fan, but that Prestone Javelin is just.
Wait, did you see the Winter Bagel?
No.
Listen, it was there maybe 3 years ago at SEMA. They built this got to be in the 70s, Winter Bagel, and I think it does like 9s in the quarter mile. It is a monster.
Wow.
You got to Google it. You got to check out the video.
I wouldn't be the one
That's
driving
crazy.
in 9 seconds a quarter mile.
Oh yeah, it's one of them big old with the front end's like half square and it comes back out.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, it's good with the W on the side.
Right.
Yeah. They kept it all original on the outside, man. But look, you get in that bad boy. Yeah, Ring Brothers, no joke.
Crazy.
I got to see some of their stuff up to Syracuse Nationals, and I was like 15 feet away, getting close to the 69 Camaro, and the color caught my eye. It was like a cosmic butterscotch, and I was thinking about colors at the time. So I honed in on the color, and it's 10 feet away. I looked at it and said, oh my God, this is not a regular car. I could, all that stuff is out on display. Every single part of that car has been touched and massaged, and if you know what you're looking for, it just screams at you. And I spent like an hour and a half just looking at the details on that car. Gorgeous. Those guys
there's a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got to pay attention to their stuff, man, because like you said, they touch everything, and they do a little tweaking to everything.
They actually moved the windshield up and flush mounted all the reveal molding. I mean, little details.
Yeah, who thinks of that? You know?
Yeah.
The Ring Brothers.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
The guy was showing me some stuff they did in the trunk that was ridiculous. Oh yeah, look at that. That's huge. with a mini bike.
With a
on the
little
front.
mini bike, a Honda 50.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Let's pull the video up. Dude, when I'm telling you, this is no joke, man.
I gotta find
It
a
has,
Honda 50 for my little boy. He's gotta get a Honda 50. I mean, I have one. He's gotta have one.
They're hard
That's
to
what I
find
start.
now.
Yeah.
That's what I started out on is a Honda 50.
Well, I shouldn't say that. They're easy to find as long as you're willing to pay for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they
Yeah.
going for? Like $1,000, $2,000 now?
You know, it's whatever the guy wants to ask. You know, I'll keep my eyes open down here.
Yeah, I like to give myself a little Honda 50 for, you know, I say it's for my son. You see me go the stationary store.
Yeah.
Right.
Terry, I think it's rolling the LS in it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
No, of
Come on.
course.
You get down 9 seconds, you gotta have an LS.
Oh yeah, it's a beast. Oh wait, here you go. I'm showing you the video. Hold on. Hold it a second. Where'd it go?
What kind of engine did the Winnebagos come with, anyway, from the video?
Yeah, a
I
lot
couldn't even
of
tell
them
you.
use like corporate. They use Chrysler. My friend's got a. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
the
a
big old
Winnebago.
440s.
Yeah, but he has got some. I forget the brand of his. It's a popular brand motorhome from the '60s, and it's got. I think he's got a 413 in his, a Chrysler 413. It's got an old Chrysler steering wheel, but then it had like Ford parts in it. They used all sorts of mishmash stuff.
Oh, that's a different one. Wait a minute, that ain't the right one.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
someone else's. Wait a minute, I got fooled. Hold on.
Roadkill did that where they pulled that 440 out to put it in the one car. They took it to Winnebago and
Yeah.
bought it and dissected it to get the 440 out of it or whatever to put in their car. Pretty interesting.
Usually when you see a vehicle like that big with that much smoke coming out of it, Jeff Spicoli's inside. All right, you guys pass on the movie trivia. Very good.
Wow.
Turbo LS.
Turbo LS.
Yep. Yeah, the Ring Brothers, man. They're pretty nice guys too. You would never know they were car builders.
Yeah.
They look like executives.
Yeah.
Really nice guys.
You know, when I
I
was
like the
talking with
Corvette
them,
that they did. The
I was
Corvette
looking
that
at-
they did, where they recreate the spine. That was nice. You know, they got some tasty cars, man, that they do.
when I was talking with them, I was trying to engineer my brake system in my car at the time. So I was looking at what they did, and I'd already bought some stuff, some Willwood stuff, and there happened to be a guy standing there, you know, with a white shirt and all. And I was talking with him. He knew what he was talking about. And he said, "Yo, what'd you get?" And I said, "Well, I got the Willwood, this or that." Well, it ended up he was from Stainless Steel Brakes. This guy, he was like the regional rep. He says, "Well, you know, I want to tell you, like, you know, get rid of all that stuff, and I'll hook you up with everything else you need." I was like, "Oh man, here we go already," you know. But they're super nice guys to talk to. You know,
They're awesome. They're awesome. They're definitely awesome.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little, you know, I'm sad that Lewis Lee, you know, like when he was here, I wanted to take him over to Nelson's house so he can check out what he's got going on in there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but, you know, we were just, you know, at a cross for time and everything. And what's it called? Nelson got, I'm not going to tell you what he got in his garage. Matter of fact, he just picked it up.
Let's do another. Have
Okay.
him on again.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I think he got Wi-Fi better in his house now. So
Okay.
you guys are gonna flip when you see what's in his garage that he now owns.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And don't think he's
hey,
stupid like the Batmobile. Think along the lines of like, I tell you what, think along the lines of Boyd Coddington.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get Joe on here. Joe Coddington.
Okay.
I'm gonna get her on
Oh yeah,
pretty soon.
That'll be it.
It just we've been missing each other, you know, connecting up. But I'm gonna get her on.
What's she doing?
Cool lady, man.
What is she up to?
She's doing working with a company that sells products. Sells cleaning products. Atlas? No. What's the name of it? Hold on. Archive? I don't know, man. I'm getting
Amway?
old.
Amway?
No. No, they
Arco,
sell
no.
cleaning stuff. Hold on, let me pull it up.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, right. Well, look,
Yeah, but
when you got to put food on the table, you got to do something.
Yeah, she's living her life though. I think she still got some cars and stuff. She got 2 houses, so she's doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool people, man. I made her a nice purse. She wanted a custom red purse, so I had to hook her up.
Yeah, Louis got to get me a belt. He's got to make me a belt, a couple man belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. See the Tiki King on the back.
Yeah.
The Tiki King.
That was Coyote Terry.
Coyote Terry.
I tell you what, I make a deal with you, Brian. If I do get a Torino, I make sure there's a Coyote in that. How's that? That's the best I can do, buddy. That's the best I can do.
Hey, he. I know it's hard for you to say, Terry.
I know.
Yeah, I'll make sure there's a Coyote in there. That's the best I can do. That's the best. Who am I kidding? I'm putting the Ellis in that Torino so quick.
It's okay. I'll grow on you. Don't worry. Poor guy.
already have, my friend. I want to see that 66. I want to see that Mustang. They sold the wheel company. No.
Oh, does his son run it?
Yeah, his son runs his wheel company.
Yeah.
Or did they sell it and
on
his son is in a position, like an executive position, to run it? I don't remember exactly what the story was.
Well, I know.
I remember they did it during the show where they showed emptying out the warehouse. They emptied out all the wheel stuff because it went away. But I think the son might have been running it. And I don't know if that was in the interim of the takeover or if they gave him a position. I don't recall. I don't really know.
He's still on Insta. I follow him on Instagram, and it's with the wheel company.
Okay.
I mean, he has the wheels.
I bought a set of his wheels for my IROC back in '89.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
That was the heyday, yeah.
Yeah, here they are right here.
Did he have the mullet? Did he have the mullet and everything?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, those are boys.
That's the heyday.
Listen, those were 17 inches, and that was the biggest wheel you can get.
Oh, sure.
Back then.
So listen, when I bought them, my buddy, he owned a wheel shop, right? So he sold me these wheels. He bought them for his Corvette. So he sold me these wheels. He goes, I got bad news for you. I was like, what? He goes, there's only one company that sells tires, and that was Fittipaldi.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. So they were like $200 a piece.
In '89, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck did you do to me?
Yeah.
That's not too far off of those Eagle GTs that came on the 16-inch ones, man.
Right.
My '84 Mustang was a LX, and it was a convertible, and it had those TRX wheels.
Yeah.
And those were metric, and only one person made those tires, and it was Michelin's, and it was only for BMWs and those Fords. And thank God I worked at a dealership, because when somebody had them takeoffs, that's where I got my tires.
You do realize
300.
You do realize it's only one letter off from Terry World.
What?
The model of your Mustang.
Oh.
It's an LX. Right?
Yeah.
Same problem I had.
Funny.
I bought my '95 Impala. Now I have a '96. And at the time, it's got 255 5017s on it. And at the time, you couldn't get tires. Like the BF Goodrich came on the car, and they stopped making them. And there was, I think, Pilots. Maybe they make Michelin Pilot Sport. The only tires available were like super expensive. Some cars do that.
I had a Trans Am back in the day. Back in '88, I had an '85 Trans Am, and I wanted those GTA, those BBS looking cross lace wheels. Because my car came with the 15-inch wheels, but then I wanted to step up to the GTA 16-inch.
Listen, I had a whole bunch of them.
I went to go get those Gatorbacks, because that's what came on those IROCs, the Gatorback GT.
Right,
not the
Gatorback.
Not the GT, the Eagle GT4s. No, you talking about the Gatorback. They're like $225, $250 a pop, man.
Now I'll tell you what I got to do. I noticed since my car is sitting up on the lift in the shop, I'm looking at my rear tires. They're M&H Street Masters. And, I mean, they didn't have a lot of tread on them anyway because the street's slick. But I'm, these car tires look a little low. I got to get tires, and I need, two 75/50/17s. So I started looking online. I'm like, oh my god, again, it's going to be expensive. Like what am I going to put on this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to replacing those ZL1 tires because the back wheel is 11 inches thick.
Yeah.
ZL1, man, I'm not looking forward to racing. I'm going to hold on to those tires. Do a nice smoky burnout now. That's all right.
Yeah, cruise off real slow.
Well, next time.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, my '89 GT had the Gator backs.
Yeah.
And they were expensive, but if that car sat, I didn't drive it a lot, and it was a rolling brick. Those things would get so hard, and man, it would be like thump, 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 thump all the way down the road. God, it was a pain in the butt with those tires.
And they wore like butter, man. On a hot day, they'd grip on a hot day, but like you put any type of water or it's cold out, it's like
they were ice skating.
I'll go you
they're like Disney on ice.
Those Goodrich 255/50/17 Impala tires on the stock rims are sitting in my storage garage with less. I took them off with 17,000 miles on the car because they dry rotted. I mean, that was only a few years ago. The car's only got 22,000 miles on it now. It's like, when you don't use them, it's a waste.
Yeah.
It's a waste. Big waste.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, it's time for me to head on off. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys, playing in this traffic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to work on Clay's setup and see if we can get him back. He was all ready, man. I did a Zoom meeting with him this afternoon, and we were talking. He did an interview with me. He's going to put it up on his YouTube channel. And then we're going to try and do some cross-promoting stuff. So I said, you got to come on Playing in Traffic, man. We talk about you all the time. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get with him during the week and get him all set up. Make sure he can get on next week.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm going to jump off too. Terry, let me know if you get any packages in the mail on a pallet.
Really? Nelson sent you?
Well, he said he's close to sending it, so I don't know if he did yet or not.
Like I said, he had that whole thing going last week. I figured he'd be a little bit busy.
Yeah, so he said he was close to getting it all wrapped up. So
whatever comes through, man. Like I said, it's just a matter of me just going ahead and just knocking it out, and I would, real quick.
And Sunday, what time you want to meet up Sunday so we can hit your stuff?
Well, we'll take it online. We'll take it offline. Maybe Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that sounds good. After 12.
We'll work on it.
Okay. All right, people, everybody in the chat room, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, playing in the street.
Be easy.
Yeah, and Ray's gonna take over the after show, so we'll pump some other people in. And hey guys, email me or text me or something if you guys come up with any ideas for SEMA week. We might be able to, maybe meet up or, do something online. Any ideas? Yeah.
Our cruise.
We can do a cruise, anything, man. Just give me any ideas and we'll try to work with some people and see what we can do.
Yeah.
It don't have to be a total.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Go down to Maryland and see what's called Brian over there.
That's it. I'll put you guys to work.
I want to check out Delaware.
Check out Delaware. That's right.
I told my wife, I said, we go check out Delaware. I got to go over the bridge. I got to go see Brian. I got to spend a day on that truck, man. I got to,
That's it.
Brian, when we left Terry's, we were antiquing, and we almost went down towards your way. We should have bounced down there. Yeah.
Sure.
Me and my wife was hitting antique stores like we had money.
Oh. That's trouble right there.
Hey, I came back with a little bag. She got more stuff than me, though. But I came back with a little tiny bag of stuff.
Yeah.
Antiquing.
Yeah, we was antiquing. Listen, Lewisburg, PA, they had 10 antique stores within like 5 miles. And when I tell you they were like big as shopping plazas, it was unbelievable.
What did you find? What kind of stuff did you find there? What were the goodies?
I was looking for tools, but she found, she's into stuff like this. Hold on.
I know you didn't find one of these.
She's into,
that's cool. Yeah.
like what do you call that metal?
Pewter?
Nah, I don't know what's
Computer?
called.
It looks kind of nickel-ish, but I figured it was
She's into that kind of stuff, so she bought all kind of like trays and girly stuff.
Girly stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking for tools, man. I'm looking for old leather tools and hammers, and so I got a couple pieces.
Right.
Rather than a steering wheel. Girly stuff.
Hey, it's all good though. You spend a day out. Your wife is happy. You're happy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, Keith, I can do a steering wheel wrap. If it's a custom steering wheel, you have to send me the wheel, and I'll custom fit it. It'll be like a glove.
Like a glove.
So, yep.
Yeah.
So let
Again,
me know
gentlemen, take care. And
Okay, Terry, be safe.
y'all all be safe, please. Everyone in the chat room, everyone. Talk to you later, Ray, Brian, Lewis. We'll talk. Be easy,
Yes, sir.
everyone.
All right, peace.
Got it.
Peace.
Yep. Boink. Wrong button.
All right, I'll let Chassis John in, then I'm going to bounce out. Anybody else want to jump in when I leave?
We'll see if he's got any cookies.
Yeah, he's probably eating.
Got to have some Twinkies or Oreos or something.
Yeah, there's ice cream sandwich.
Yeah. Oh man, we were in Stu Leonard's yesterday or 2 days ago, and thank God I saw in the freezer. It like jumped out of the freezer at me. It was a box of 30 ice cream sandwiches, and I said to my wife, "Look, it's a brick of ice cream sandwiches. Where are you gonna put them? I'll put a little here, a little there. Freezer upstairs, freezer downstairs." Well, we did buy meat and fish. We bought a bunch of halibut, just for the halibut, because we couldn't get meat. And we get home, and within 20 minutes, the power goes out. So we have power the rest of the day. So she said to me that night, she goes, "Gee, aren't you glad you didn't buy those ice cream sandwiches now?"
Oh, man, you'd have been hurting, boy.
I would have just been like,
we got to eat them. We got to eat them.
drink them. They'd be like, I'd put them in a glass. I just like, oh.
Last week at the grocery store, I think it was a box of 24. You buy one, get one free. So I came home with a lot of ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, man.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't even like ice cream, so that's
oh man,
it's pretty bad when I bring them home.
Yeah. I've been going through my Italian ices and my push-up pops, and I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Carvel cake isn't safe around me,
No.
All right, guys.
I'm too busy eating my vegetables.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Lewis, what's the rest of your shirt saying? I see "if Lewis," but I don't see the rest.
Oh, if Lewis can't fix it, we're all screwed.
Nice.
There you go.
That's excellent. Very good.
Wife got that for me.
That's good. That's good.
All right, guys. I'll catch you. I'll catch you next week. We'll try to get Clay on.
Okay, Lewis.
That'll be awesome.
If you want to do a test with him during the week, let me know. I'll jump on with you.
Okay.
Okay.
And Brian, I'll send. Do I have your? Want me to email you or text?
Yeah,
you?
just you can email me, or you could text me, email me.
I don't know if I
Send up the Mako beacon into the western sky, and he'll see it.
It's Hey Mako Man at Verizon.net.
Is that the new one, John?
Hold on.
Just came yesterday.
I should be getting mine soon then, because
Yep.
mine should be coming maybe tomorrow.
Issue 28. And it's loaded with Trans Am.
Oh, cool.
Here, Brian, it's easier. My phone just died. I'm gonna put mine in the chat room.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, there it is.
Or just hit me up on Facebook.
It's a whole issue about
Here's mine. I'll put it in
Trans
the
Am
chat.
style racing.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
So it's got Dodge and Ford, but it's got a lot of Pontiac Trans Ams in it too.
All right, girls. I'll see you next week.
See you.
All right, Lewis. Take care.
What's up?
Man, that was a lot of feedback he had.
What?
That was a lot of feedback.
What do you mean?
I thought
Well,
it
when
was
he
you,
cut
Brian.
off, huh?
I thought it was you.
No, that
I
was
didn't
him.
hear
When he
anything
cut out,
on my end.
man, when he cut out, it sounded like somebody turned the light switch off. I thought you guys all left me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't want you to be alone. Get depressed like
Last week-
Michelle Obama.
Oh, I know. Poor baby.
Believe that
I mean, she's
shit
just
with
at
that
the
bitch.
end of the world.
Oh, I'm
Don't even
depressed.
get me, John. I'm not going to get you started, bud.
Nope,
I'm not going to get started.
not even depressed. I heard that. I was like, yeah, right. Okay. Well, it's because you got a cock instead of a you know what.
That's awesome, Keith. I'm glad the flag worked out. I'm glad you didn't get booted from the house after hanging it up.
Damn it. I got a Trans Am coffee table book here somewhere about Trans Am racing. I found the Trans Am car ones, but yeah, I love the
I
Trans
have
Am.
the coffee table book on the Firebird Trans Am. My wife bought it a few years ago.
I love the Trans Am racing series. That was like so
Yeah.
cool. Brian, I thought for some reason that hissing was coming from you. I don't know, because usually Lewis doesn't have any. So I thought it was you.
No, I mean when he turned it off. I mean when he left it.
I heard it.
Yeah,
I heard it.
Mm.
That's crazy.
Clink.
Yeah, those days of Trans Am racing, that was the best.
You know, I mean,
You had 67 to 69 Camaros. You had Firebirds. Later on, you had 70 to 73 Firebirds. You had Mustangs,
Javelins,
ones, Javelins, everything.
That's how. See, that's why. That's how
Challengers,
Pontiac.
Cudas.
So that's how in the second gen Pontiacs they came out with that 303.
Yeah,
It
to
was
meet the rule.
It was a D-stroke 400, and that was to meet the trans. And that was how the DZ engine, the Z28, the 302. That's how that came about. Ford already had the 302, but
So think about it, okay? Let's go 67. Let's go 67 to 73, okay? Even though the power ratings were down in the 70s, but that's really the muscle car era of the kind of cars that race Trans Am. Now think about how many of those cars were built and wrecked through the years when you think of the total amount of all of those muscle cars that came off the line.
yeah.
So many of them were just trashed.
Sure. Yeah.
Unreal. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, then what was kind of cool, even though we're the brunt of all the jokes these days, the IROC series that came after that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, take the same prep car and just change the driver. Let's see
Trust me,
how
I
good the
watched
driver is.
every single airing of IROC when that was a big popular thing on ABC, on Wide World of Sports.
And then when you got into your Firebird, people were like, hey, man, IROC, Guido, man.
Yeah,
all the
that's
shit
true.
from everybody.
Well, by that time, yeah, you had to be a Guido if you drove an IROC.
Right.
Well, I was a Guido, and I had that Firebird, you know.
Right. That's what I mean, yeah.
That was the same one, the third gen. Third
Right.
generation, that was the Guido days.
Right.
Capizio, slick back hair, chains.
Yeah.
You know, all of the bullshit. But the best looking girls hung out in the discos.
Sergio Tacchini's.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was bi-musical back then because I was a disco guy and I was a hardcore rocker at the same time.
I was fighting it so hard, and whenever my group of guys would go to a disco, we would always take a couple carfuls, and it ended up being like me and these 2 or 3 other guys who would stay outside. Like, we'll watch the cars, so we'd be doing our stuff outside, you know, hanging out on the cars and like checking everybody as they're going in and out. Because
you don't know what you missed inside. It was awesome.
no, I did go in. You know, I was telling my daughter just the other night. We were talking about fashion and trends. I said, I used to wear. Oh, we're talking about bell bottoms. And because I showed her a video, it was a video of the 70s, the fads that came and went in the 70s.
I had those big elephant bells.
Me too. So I said, I used to wear, they were dress pants with a big bell on the bottom, and they were cuffed, like a 3-inch cuff.
Yeah.
I said, and with that, I used to wear my marshmallow shoes. She goes, what? A marshmallows. I said, it was just a leather sole top shoe, but it had these 3-inch heels with this, the sole was made out of like marshmallow, like balsa wood.
Yeah, white rubber.
Right. I brought up a picture on the phone and showed it to her. She goes, Dad, you wore those? I'm like, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, we all had them.
I said, I worked at Dairy Barn at the time. So every night when I came home, I took the pants off, and about $4 and change would fall out of the cuffs, bottle caps. There'd be all sorts of shit. Because everything you felt got caught in the cuff.
I had platform shoes. Well, think about Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember like the platform shoes that little effing geek wore?
Yeah.
We all had shoes like that. I had these ones from Flag Brothers. They were this like tan leather
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
nice laces, and the platform and the heel, it was layers, dark brown, light brown, dark
Right.
brown, light brown.
Right.
Looked like a layer cake.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
nice. That was some cool stuff there.
We had I think I told you, my high school gym teacher he was an ex-football player for the Vikings. And he was a tough guy. big dude, real tough linebacker.
Wow.
One of the kids, as a goof, wore platform red sneakers into the gym class.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Lilienthal elbowed this kid in the head, knocked him out cold on the wrestling mat. Kid
Wow.
laid there for 20 minutes before he woke up.
Yeah.
He told him, get those effing things off and go put on some real shoes.
He had drain damage.
Oh, unbelievable.
Wow.
But back then, you could get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the fashion.
He used to play horse basketball. You go around the key.
Yeah.
For the 10th graders' lunch money. And nobody ever reported him.
Wow. Nah.
Those were the days. Dodgeball. We always used to gang up on the wimp. There was always that one wimp.
Oh, sure.
Oh my God, kid would go home with welts all over his face.
Yeah.
But now, we can't do that.
Right. Now they don't even play it anymore. They don't even play dodgeball.
I don't even think they make dodgeballs
Yeah,
anymore.
probably not.
Remember that sound, that ring?
Boing. Yeah. Boing. Yeah.
Those were the days. That's what made you tough.
Yeah. That and a few other things, but yeah, that was a modern.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I used to like my bell bottoms, and I explained to my daughter. I said, "Yeah, we had like flare legs, then we had bell, and then we had elephant bell." And I said, the only thing was like when you had rode a bike, you had to roll up your right leg, or else you get caught in a chain. Yeah.
And then we had those really, really thick belts.
Yeah.
The
Garrison
pants
belt.
came with big loops that you had these big giant belts with these buckles, and then you wouldn't put the buckle in the front, you'd put the buckle like off on the hip.
John, I wear my belt like that to this
I have
day.
it.
I do. And
I don't have any
my
belt
buddy at
bottoms.
the shop. And in fact, I was watching some old movies when my pal was out. I was watching some stuff, the movie called The Van from the late 70s. And the tough guy, he drove a 32 Ford with a small block with 2 4-barrels on it. And in the beginning, his hair was all greased back. And at the end of the movie, he went the dry look. But he's wearing he's wearing his jeans, cuffed up jeans, real 50s style with the engineer boots. It was like a greaser kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. He had his square Garrison belt, and he wore it on the left. I wear mine on the right. And the guy at the shop asked me one day, "Why do you do that? Is that so?" He goes, "That's pretty smart. So if you lean over a car, you don't scratch the car." I'm like, that's not why I do it.
No.
Why I do it? I said, because when I grew up, I said I was a greaser. You were a greaser or a jock, and God knows I wasn't a jock. So I was a greaser. So it was leather jackets, and the greasers all wore their belt off to the side. And the reason was, if you got in a fight, you could undo it and pull it out and wrap it around your fist, and that was a weapon. Now that belt buckle was a weapon. He's like, wow, really? He goes, where'd you go to school? Beirut. I said, look, I still wear like that to this day because I never changed.
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't worn my belt like that in forever.
Yeah. And
These days, I wear a lot of those, like the belts that they wear in the military. It's got that little latch that flips open and you slide it through, you slam it shut. Or it's got the 2 D rings and you go back and forth.
The only time I wear a belt normal is
perfect because I don't have to worry about catching into the hole.
No, if I wear if I got to wear a suit or get dressed up and I got to wear a regular belt, I have to put it on conventionally. I feel so weird having that buckle in the front. It's like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Got to get the Sansa belt slacks with the built-in belt. It's like,
that's some funny stuff.
But that's what we lived through. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Deal.
We didn't have to deal with the China.
Oh, China. On this video, they were showing the feds, and of course, women with the nice form-fitting high-waisted pants with the bell-bottom legs. I love those pants on the right body, Sure. But then, of course, they went for leisure suits, and it's like they show the freaking worst leisure suits always in the world. When they
I had a couple of them.
Some of them weren't bad in the beginning. Powder blue. Yeah.
Shit brown.
Yeah, some of them got pretty plaid. They had
I
plaid.
had them.
Yeah.
Then there was the members only jackets.
Yeah, yeah.
Then, because I was really physically fit and only weighed like 150 pounds at 5'11", was the days of Miami Vice.
Oh,
The
yeah.
sleeveless T-shirts,
Right.
real thin material,
Nice sport coat.
you know, in all of those crazy ice
You're
cream
out.
type colors, and then
Yeah.
a linen jacket over it,
Right.
and push the sleeves up. You know,
I had a
like,
I had a
like
white
Joe-
linen jacket.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't white. It was like an off-white, had a little bit of a pattern in it.
Yeah.
So, and you know, it was a real. You wear that with, I would wear that with a pair of like Sergio Valente jeans that were
Right.
pressed and creased. I wear my Dingo boots with them. I mean, that was
Yep.
like,
Go
no,
Boots.
I'm
I
telling you,
used, I used to wear the linen pants and the white shoes. Oh,
Yeah, the Fruit
yeah.
Loop boots. Fruit Loop.
yeah,
some sick stuff. Thank God I don't have any photos of that.
yeah, right. Somebody does somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet you my mom does.
Yeah.
I'll have to hit her up. She got no power still going on, what, 3 days, 2 days?
Who doesn't?
My mother.
Yeah, the North Shore got hit a little worse than we did down here.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
South
yeah.
Shore. Long Island had 350,000 outages, and as of today, there was still 160,000 out.
Yeah.
And I think
She's got, because, see, like here in Florida, all the lines are underground,
yeah, not here.
which kind of amazes me that the stupidity. I'll tell you straight up, Florida's the dumbest ass state, probably next to Arkansas. The stuff that goes on here, you shake your head and go, really? But they're smart enough to bury the wires underground.
Right.
So, like, my power just about never goes off. You know,
Right.
maybe somebody there are overhead lines, but they're like the main lines that come out of the generation units and that kind of stuff. And believe it or not, the poles that they put up here, they're either these huge steel poles that are about a good 3.5 feet wide at the bottom.
Wow.
And then they paper, or they make these poles out of precast concrete.
Mm.
People are always going off the road and hitting these things, and then they crack, and then the whole thing just comes down on top of the car and just wrecks the car.
See, they should have run a big length of rebar through the middle of it.
Well, I'm sure there is, but I've seen them where they just snap off.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Then it can't be rebar if it's
You
snapped.
know, well, rebar after a while rusts inside the concrete.
Yeah, it takes a long time. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long some of these things have been up.
Right.
Way longer than I've been around here. But
Yeah.
yeah. But my mom's, they got all overhead wiring.
Yeah.
So her cable and telephone and electricity, it's the way the streets are set up and the development she lives in, it runs right through her backyard on the property line, and then it makes a left and goes down the road that way.
Yeah.
And a tree fell on one end, and then, believe it or not, one of the wires that feeds her house and all the houses up the block, it snapped.
Yeah.
Came right off the pole. So it's just laying there.
It's funny.
So she got but she got a generator.
My neighborhood, they're all above ground.
Yeah.
And my parents' neighborhood is basically built around the same time, but it's all underground over there. It's kind of weird. It's both here.
Underground's good.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed that's like not good, but it doesn't seem to be effective. About 5, maybe 6 years ago, when Verizon did that FiOS deal, they came through and they wound up laying the fiber optic cable on my side of the street, and they had that machine that they can steer how it drills underground, which is pretty good because my driveway is like 3.5 cars wide. I have a really big driveway, and they came up on the lawn and they sunk that thing in, and the guy like walked across my driveway and steered it with this handheld radio control thing, and I'm like,
nice.
whoa. And then it came up on the other side. Not a problem. So anyway, they put a big junction box, so they had to dig a hole, and when we get heavy rain,
fills up with water.
Fills up with water to the point where the top actually has popped off.
Wow.
And in there is this hub and there's all of the fiber optic cables and everything. And I'm assuming because it's fiber optic, water doesn't bother it, but it's just odd to me that thing, fills with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever
I mean, they grade the property between houses. This like it's higher at the house and it kind of slopes down a little, not much, but a little. So there's literally a trough that runs from my backyard all the way out to the street. During a heavy rain, you could see that water rolling. Yeah, well, that's exactly where they put the box. So it just rolls right into the box. But I never lose my cable, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, last weekend I was doing some computer stuff on Saturday, and all of a sudden my wife comes out. She goes, "You got the internet?" And I'm like, "No, we lost cable, triple play. I lost cable, so I lost internet, TV, and phone." Saturday, and then call them up. Of course, you're on that phone with those idiots, and they're going to send somebody on Monday. I'm like, "Oh,
that's ridiculous."
Monday afternoon. So we wait. The guy comes, and it was actually a connection outside. Which I said, "Dude, if I knew that, I would have fixed it. Like I got all the stuff to fix this. I swore it was the modem." So we get it back Monday afternoon, backlog of mail, all sorts of crap. Tuesday is when we go out shopping, get on fresh fish and all, come home, boom, the power goes out because of the windstorm. Like, son of a bitch, now everything's out again. I'm like, God.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But,
yeah, so my mom's living on a generator.
Yeah.
She's all right.
Right.
So it's all good.
It's all good, man.
Hey, I'm taking the day off tomorrow.
Wow. What are you going to do?
I only had one job lined up for one of my big superstar customers. The guy from the group Boys to Men.
Right.
I texted him this morning and said, "Yo, man, coming by. Going to do some modified plumbing work on the pumps." And he was like, "Oh, dude, I had to come up to Philly." He goes, "I'll be back Tuesday." I was like, "All right, works for me."
Right.
So I'll spend the whole day here wiring the Camaro, and then Saturday I'm going to be working on the Camaro again, and then Sunday we're going out on a boat. I went to Bass Pro Shops, got bait and some new hooks because my landlord told me the hooks I've been using are too big for the stuff that's around. So I went and got the little hooks that he recommended and a couple of new little floats. So we'll take the boat out and go throw stuff around.
What are you hoping to catch?
A cold, I don't know. Anything that bites.
Well, I'm saying if you're tailoring your hook, you usually tailor it to a certain type of fish.
Yeah,
right?
well, we're going to this place called Cockroach Bay.
Sounds good.
Which is so weird. I don't know how to get these names here. But
stop off at Dick Bag Alley on the way back. Yeah, grab a beer.
Yeah, it's off Hillsborough Bay, and you go in, and then there's actually a boat ramp there, a pretty large boat ramp. But if you head east, there's just mangroves everywhere, and there's like these little coves that you could just go in and throw the anchor out and just kind of float around in there, and you fish. A lot of the stuff that hangs out there hangs out by the mangrove roots. So you go with these small hooks, you throw them in with a floater, you make the hook about 2-3 inches under the water surface. You put shrimp on it and you just reel them in. So it's literally a dead end, but it goes for about 3 miles. And it's just super nice and it's dead calm. It's the kind of place you want to go if you actually had a really fast top fuel hydro or something, or a fast boat, because the water is literally like glass.
Right.
There's very little, current in there. And every time we go in there, there's usually some dolphins and stuff. But 9 times out of 10, everybody says if you see dolphins, you're not going to get any fish.
We've been having sharks off the coast of Long Island here.
Yeah.
Bull sharks. It's a great white. And it ate some woman up in in New Hampshire. She's from New York.
I saw that on the news.
And they're like, News 12 was showing like all the beaches are shut down and they're out there on jet skis. They're showing you helicopter footage of these sharks. Like, holy shit, man. What's going on?
Yesterday or the day before, they arrested these 2 assholes that were net fishing over by the Gandy Bridge, which is on the south end of Tampa. They had a 35-yard long gill net Gill nets were outlawed like 20 years ago here in Florida.
Wow.
You stretch this thing out, and the bottom is weighted, and so basically it builds a wall.
Yeah.
They caught a shark, they caught a dolphin, they caught a bunch of red snappers that were undersized, oversized. I mean, the whole 9 yards. They caught these dudes, they yoked them up. All the fish, almost all the fish died. The dolphin died because it's these kind of nets that they swim through and then they can't back up.
Right.
Catches them in the gills.
Yeah.
It's like a felony down here if you even get caught with one of those nets. So
Yeah.
they're yoking these two jackasses up. I hope they never see the light of day.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be paying for that. Yeah.
They wound up with like 60 charges
Wow.
based on what they caught, you know?
And the last one, just for being a dumbass.
I hope the Florida Wild Game and Wildlife, I hope they tune these guys up on the way to the precinct. But you don't see that kind of behavior much more.
No.
Today. Now you can get arrested for that.
Yeah, right. Body cams.
Unbelievable. They don't even want you. You keep reading all this crap that they're telling these, like in Minneapolis. They're like, if somebody's robbing you, give them your wallet, give them your phone. Don't try to fight them.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? That's when I pull out the gun and I knock a hole in the guy's head.
Well,
And then
that
I
was
take
like
everything that he stole.
de Blasio telling people when we were having all the looting and rioting, and well, you should go out and try to like identify with these people and talk with them and explain to them why what they're doing is wrong. Yeah, right. You fucking idiot. These people are looting and rioting. They're going to listen. They're going to. And you can tell some like soccer mom to go out and reason with them.
That's when you see those videos of these gangs that surround you when you're talking to one guy and another guy sucker punches you from behind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you see the video of this Antifa asshole group that confronted a guy in a pickup truck and a dude literally dropped his motorcycle in front of the truck?
I don't remember seeing that one. No.
It's floating around. This guy was coming through. There was hundreds of them. Somebody made a comment, though. They were all wearing these black helmets. Where did they all get the same helmets from? Who bought those helmets?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they were doing something with this guy.
That's like a riot helmet, too. I've seen those helmets.
Yeah. They stopped him, and a guy took his motorcycle, and he dropped it right in front of the guy's pickup truck.
Uh-huh.
The guy hammered it and drove away, pushing this bike. Sparks flying everywhere.
Yeah.
So then tonight, video came out from a different view. So it turns out that they surrounded this guy's truck, and somebody knifed his tires.
Uh-huh.
So he figured, I'm out of here. So he drove away with like 2 flats and this motorcycle stuck under the front bumper.
That's what happened up at BQE a couple of years ago.
It's ridiculous.
It was a gang, and there was an SUV that they say it hit one of the bikes, and so they did a roadblock and surrounded this guy. It was like a Chinese guy with his wife and baby.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, I remember
He
that.
took off. I mean, he ran one of them over, and then they followed him up to the streets.
He was at fault. He deserved a beat.
I don't know. They said that though.
They were acting like idiots, and he hit somebody.
Yeah,
he knocked somebody off a bike. He deserved what he got.
It's kind of like a fight or flight. He said, "I feared for my life and the life of my wife and baby." I think he got off with that. I think he was exonerated, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, that stuff happens. You don't know.
These guys, before all this crap, you'd always see that stuff, especially out on Long Island. There'd be like gangs of these guys with these ricer bikes.
Oh yeah,
everybody's riding wheelies and acting like idiots and driving down the highway at 140 miles an hour, cutting in and out of lanes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that,
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But not in that video I saw, not one cop anywhere to be found.
No.
Like the police and it's not like I'm mad at the police because they're taking a bum rap these days.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody hates cops all of a sudden, so what are they going to do? And what are they going to do? Because if they start to get rough, then they're going to wind up with these insane mayors. They get brought up on charges. So you can't even defend yourself anymore.
Right.
This is a big problem. It's a huge problem.
Well, the liberal agenda is.
Well, I think what's going to, I don't know, after the election, If it doesn't clear up, you're going to wind up with a lot of patriots are just going to go out and just start killing off these assholes because there's no reason for these protests. No reason at all. You can't convince me of one thing that these Antifa protesters are protesting that is a good thing. They're just a bunch of fucking little assholes that never got their ass handed to them by their liberal fucking parents all of these years, and they live in mom's basement, and they play video games, and they got no education and no smarts because they don't teach anybody anything in school anymore. They want to erase history, so they're just lashing out. And because the mayors are telling the cops to stand down, they're getting away with it. Nobody is kicking their asses. I heard that de Blasio told the fire departments, if you bring out the water guns, I'm putting you in jail. You want to clean these parks out? That's how you clean the park out. You bring out the water cannon and you blow these bums 2 blocks away. Get out of here. Go get a fucking job.
It works. I was explaining to my wife and daughter, I said, what they're doing is their tactic. Everybody was protesting. Cool. You got a right to protest. Not a problem. Then, of course, Antifa came in. Everything did what it did. And then it got worse. And I said, now you watch. Everybody was just happy when it wasn't in their neighborhood the next day. We were like, thank God it's somewhere else,
Right.
And now what they're doing is they're ratcheting it up. And I said, what they do, that's the thing. You protest, you make your statements. I said, then you go, you stop, and everybody forgets about it because they don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear your shit, and it's done. I said, but what they're doing is the tactic is stay in people's faces, stay in John Q. Public's face every day. Yeah. Don't let people forget. I said, the problem is they have a fringe element that's, undermining the whole thing in a negative way. So now what's happening here on the island is a lot of the police groups are doing where there's a Black Lives Matter protest in a park, there's a Blue Lives Matter one in the same park on the other side of the park. They're getting in the face every day, and I'm sure it's a lot of retired guys or there's a lot of active guys too. And I said, that's what you're going to start seeing. You're going to see pushback on the pushback.
Right, but it should be done. It should be over. Go home.
Should be.
First of all, you're protesting to the wrong people. Because protesting to John Q. Public that you hate the police isn't going to change anything.
Right.
It's just going to piss off the people that understand that you need the police.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Here down in the wild south of Florida where everybody carries a gun.
Yeah.
We're not having these problems because I think everybody knows you're going to wind up getting killed and thrown in a swamp.
Yeah, right.
Down here, they don't care.
You'd be gator bait.
Gator bait, exactly.
Look at what happened in Minneapolis.
Dude, there's rednecks everywhere. You go out of my development, you leave the gates, and it's redneck central. They all carry.
Yeah.
Got gun racks in their trucks. This is still, the home of the Second Amendment. They'll take you out. They don't
carry one of these. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. I think it's great. I wait for that kind of stuff. Oh, I don't think it made the national news. There was a high-speed police chase today up I-275, which is a main, east-west kind of artery. And it comes over what's called the Howard Franklin Bridge, which goes over Hillsborough Bay, separates Pinellas County, like Clearwater, St. Pete, from Tampa. So they're heading northbound, heading towards Tampa. High-speed cop chase. These creeps get in an accident on the bridge. Totaled their car and a couple of others because it was like traffic. They jump off the bridge.
Whoa!
to get away from the police.
How far down to the water was it?
In the place where they were, it's about a 50-foot drop.
Damn.
That hurts.
Ooh.
So there they are floundering. Now there's a helicopter because it's a high-speed chase.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard and the county boats are literally like a mile away. So they got the county's got the fast boats. They got like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because they'll go out and do some drug running and stuff. If they show up, they yoke these two assholes out of the water, take them to jail.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They're lucky to still be alive.
Yeah.
That's, that's like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
That water, don't.
I know.
That ain't refreshing.
No.
No joke,
No.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, and the highest spot, it's about 50 feet. It's kind of like where it happened, maybe just over the hump.
You know you're desperate to do that.
Yeah. Well, it literally goes from just about, I'm going to say maybe about 6 or 8 feet above sea level to around 50 and then down again.
I'm thinking like jump the divider to the other side and take my chances carjacking somebody.
No.
Go the other way.
They've had people jump off the Skyway Bridge here.
Yeah.
The Skyway Bridge is, I don't know how high it is, but it's high enough that the biggest
Cruise ship.
cruise ships sail right under it.
Wow.
Because years and years and years ago, a cruise ship hit the original bridge that was there and took it out. So they had to build a whole nother one. So they built a real huge one.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But
Yeah, we still have drawbridges.
there's emergency phones. There's like 6 of them in the area of the high part of the span.
Right.
And lots of times I've been listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden they break in, and it's like there's a jumper on the Skyway. So it's pretty.
Right.
People do that. They'll go to the Skyway, and I mean, you're not surviving that jump.
Right.
It's not happening.
We're in overtime again, boys.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, awesome.
I just realized. It's crazy. It's too bad Clay couldn't get on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was kind of interested in wanting to hear about diesel stuff.
yeah, like I said, we did a Zoom meeting today to test his setup because he hadn't done one of them, and had a little trouble with that, but we got it working. And this platform too can always be problematic. So Lewis will work with him. This was kind of a thing.
What is it like his internet signal or something?
I don't know. I know he couldn't connect with his camera or whatever. So I don't know. We'll check it during the week. But,
Well, when I just went to come in, it couldn't find my camera. It was weird.
okay.
So
Yeah,
I unplugged the camera and plugged it back in, and then hit the accept button again, and it came right on. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I text you, Ray, because it was after 9, and
Yeah.
usually I can come up and get into the chat room. I normally don't have any problem, but like I said, it didn't even have the show listed or anything.
Right.
That's why and then all of a sudden I got the invite, and then I had the show. I mean,
Yeah.
It was really weird because I was on the app, the Crowdcast app or whatever. I never had any problems. Like I said, I
Right.
usually get into the thing. That's why I texted you. I was like, "Are you guys even on? Are you having problems?" Or
Yeah, we'll figure it out by
Whatever.
next week, I guess. But yeah, he asked
I
me
find
what you want to talk
the
about.
easiest-
We were talking
The
about.
easiest way for me to do it is to I never log out.
Well, I don't either, and that's like what I told you. When I have to host for Lewis, I have to log out and log in as him, and then I have to
Yeah.
log out again. So the next week, my camera doesn't work, which is exactly what happened. Like last week,
right.
I knew it was going to happen, and it did.
Yeah.
So
I don't log out, but it's weird because if I go to my dashboard icon, it only brings up the stuff that's already happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't show a new one. So
It won't.
I always click on last week's. And then what I do is when that comes on, then I open up I go to on the top bar, that white bar where it says playing in traffic show. I click that, and that opens up a second tab.
Ah.
And then I shut the first tab. And on that second tab, it will show what's tonight. And then I click let me in, and boom, I go.
See, because Lewis can
Weird.
put a thing up. He can advertise the show earlier. Like he can do it days in advance, and then you would see it because it would be up there as the next advertised show.
He needs to do that because I notice I don't get any kind of correspondence until the show starts. Like if I go on my phone now, I can
That's
tell
what I
you.
wait for. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't get anything at all. Okay, I got 9:05. A
That's
thing
about-
from Playing in Traffic.
That's about when I got it. Yeah.
And then I got at 10:16, it says Adam Clark followed you on Crowdcast.
Okay.
Somebody's following me.
Yeah.
I got,
That was Adam in
I
the
got a fan.
That was the guy with the motorcycles.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't get an email from him about what's going on until after the show starts.
Like I said, that's when I get it, and I got it about 9:05. So that's
Yeah. He should advertise it like, I don't know, maybe an hour early or something.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause then
yeah.
I can click that link and it would probably take me right in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I want to tell people how to find it, I don't know what to tell them. I'm like, they said, "Well, how do you get in?" I'm like, I get an invitation. I said,
Yeah.
"No, usually
Well,
it's
if you go to Crowdcast and you go to search, you just type in Playing and Traffic.
Yeah, I just do all the old shows. That's all I've done. That. I just
Yeah, that's what I do. I just go to the old shows and then click on the top bar where it's the little icon.
I never tried that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that'll take you to the current one, and then
Yeah.
just close that other browser tab off.
Right.
So you're not, because the other one's just a recording, and that one you'll hear that audio start right away.
Clay is going to do a video this Saturday, Brian. His video just hit tonight. I just watched it tonight. Mac came out with a 12-volt brushless quarter-inch drive stubby impact that they claim it has 220 foot-pounds of breakaway force. Quarter-inch. So
Would that snap the anvil?
well, that's what he sent me a picture and like the anvil. He goes, "What's your guess on the torque and what's going to break first?" And I said, "Well, let's see if it'll do 180." And I think that the bit is going to break where it necks down. So he says, "I agree with you." He goes, "But I'm only thinking 170." He's going to do a test on Saturday where he does like 5 different bolts. He'll use all fresh bolts and test it. So if they're doing that, that's pretty amazing. That's a lot of power out of a quarter-inch gun, man.
That's scary.
Yeah, ours is what is it? 150 or 180 or something. Our quarter-inch gun. It's a lot of power. It's a great gun, and they the anvils are
They were saying something
they're
about
bead blind. They're shot
Shot
peen or
peen, yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and I haven't had any break yet. I was surprised.
right. I think
I
he was
was
talking about a
really
macro one
surprised.
last week. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing what's going on with this stuff. It's the technology is really rolling now with this battery stuff.
Yeah, once they got
And light too. It's very light.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the battery stuff. It's great. Best thing I ever decided to go to. But I have been using quite a bit of air tools on this Camaro lately.
You see, I realized again that one of the tools I needed to get that I never got was a battery-powered air ratchet, because when the power goes out, which it doesn't, I think last time power was out was when Sandy hit, is the garbage disposal. I can turn it manually in the bottom with a hex head driver.
Yeah.
I need something to spin it, and I can't get a drill under there because it's so close to the floor. I need a battery-powered ratchet that I don't have. I'm like, damn. I have a 90-degree drill, but it's electric, so that ain't going to work.
No.
Yeah. So all these things you remember.
Oh, I got to show you something cheap that I bought.
Oh,
When I was looking, remember I told you I needed to get a hot knife?
well, the outdated ring dings. Yeah, I remember the hot knife. Yeah, for the cable.
I
Yeah,
could go for some ring things.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
The
so I
freezer.
went to Harbor and I got the knife. Actually, the knife that I got for $19 is what you use to cut like styrofoam.
And you could probably cut roast beef with it too.
Yeah, right. But if you just turn it on, the very end tip, you take the braid and just right through it.
Oh,
cuts
nice.
it, seals it. Oh yeah, it's awesome. But I got something else that's really cool.
Cheap tools. Harbor Freight's really pushing some coupons and deals, man. You've probably been getting emails too, Brian, right?
Oh yeah.
They're putting out their credit card now where the first time you use it, you get 10% off. And then every time you use it, you get 5% in Harbor Freight dollars.
That's the hot
Yeah.
knife.
Oh, look at that gizmo. Holy crap.
And this slides up and down for to adjust the thickness of your cut,
That's not what I was
and
expecting.
the whole thing comes off.
Uh-huh.
Right? But I'm not using it for that. So when I have to do the wire braid, the nylon wire braid, I just put this thing in the vise to hold it, turn it on, and then the very tip, you can see the black that's on it.
It gets hot, right?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing gets hot. This whole blade gets hot.
Yeah.
You know, but at the tip, you just take the braid and just go straight through, and then you squeeze it and just touch it to the end, and it sears the whole outside. Right. Nothing can fray anymore.
Does that blade move?
No. It's
okay, it's fixed.
Stays in one shot. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was
stays in one place.
Okay.
No, it's fixed.
So
you all does is heat up.
You could brand your neighbors with that thing when they're acting up.
Yeah, right. I could use that to like cut somebody's eye, burn somebody's eye out.
Ah.
But I got this for like $4.
Is that magnetic?
No. Put it on your vise,
right?
On your drill press.
Yeah.
Oh, the drill
round tubing fits in it, and it centers.
Nice.
Holds the round tubing. You got to drill holes through a piece of tubing.
Where'd you get that?
Harbor Freight. I got 2 or 3 of them. They're awesome.
Yeah,
I'll show you what I got.
It was on sale. Self-centering drill press jig.
Yep. I got the bigger green one. It's what is it, 8 inches or something?
Yeah.
It's like about that big. It's huge. It works great. I got that plate and everything.
This was sitting on the bottom shelf where I got the hot knife.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
I took.
Oh, look at that!
Did you see the? Do you have a drill press?
Yeah, I have a really nice drill press.
Yeah. Have you seen at Harbor Freight the actual drill the table that you can put on the side of the drill press?
No.
They have a table. I took mine off. I'd show you. I actually took it off. It's on my other drill press on the other side of the garage.
Clamps onto the whole deal?
But it clamps on. It's a round table, and it has places to put drill bits in. But
cool.
I use that because I put my WD-40 or whatever. I mean, it's an awesome thing. I'll have to send you a picture of it.
All right.
And you gotta look.
Yeah, I got a really super nice drill press.
I have the machine shop version.
Oh yeah,
oh
sure.
yeah.
They're machined. That you can. I mean, you can do like. There's a ton of shit you can do with these, but the same thing. You got the V, and they're freaking heavy because they're tool steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are. I think they're brown and sharp. Yeah, they're brown and sharp
stuff.
Again, just because like when you want to, not even to drill, but sometimes you just want to like jig something up and hold it.
Yeah.
And you need,
this has the slots in it so you can bolt it to the drill press table.
Nice.
And then my table, rotates. So I can turn it around like that once it's bolted down.
Right.
And actually the table goes up and down.
Yeah.
Does all of that. So when I was getting that hot knife, this was sitting on the bottom shelf.
Wow.
I'm like, holy cow, $4.
And you could put a piece of Italian bread in that and use it to slice.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Make a nice sandwich.
Yeah, I'm thinking like you can even cut pieces.
See,
get the oil and garlic dip.
Oh yeah, look at that. I've never seen that there.
What we got there, Brian? What is that?
But this is a drill. Goes on the drill press, and it's a table that hangs off on the side. You clamp it on the side of the drill press. Yeah. And it's got the places where you can put drill bits. But I love the plate because, like I said, when you got your WD-40 or whatever you're doing, and it has a hook that comes out and then it clamps on, so it swivels out of the way.
I use that old school stuff that comes in the green can with the yellow lettering, metal mover.
Yeah.
For drilling holes.
The bench grinder I have in my garage has fixtures on the back, and there's these 90-degree arms that come out, and it's actually a 90-degree arm with another upward part, and there's a little tray on each one, just like that. It sits and it can rotate, and you can put like a thing of water on there if you're grinding. Or I keep incense on water. That's why I burn my incense. So
that's what I got on my drill press. I mean, grinder also.
I got this.
But I love this drill plate's awesome though.
The one thing I do have is a set of large drill bits. They're all, I think they start at 9/16, 5/8, 3/4, 1 inch. It's like a 4 or 5 piece set. And they were in a plastic bag, and the plastic finally just disintegrated and cracked and fell apart. I'm like, what am I going to do with these? So I said, let me put them on the drill press. And I got from Harbor Freight those magnets that are made to, like, you could screw them onto the side of your toolbox or anything and just stick stuff on it. So I cut one short. I put the drill bits on that, but they're not 100% stable. So I got to find a better way.
I walked into Harbor Freight the other day to get that knife, and they've got the biggest toolbox I have ever seen
The Icon.
in my life.
Yeah, it's the new
The
Icon.
Icon, yeah.
It had to be like almost 7 feet tall,
Yes,
and it was about 16 feet long.
that's it.
It had like 12 wheels.
You know, when that first came out, it was all the buzz. All the guys, Clay did videos on it. I actually bought an Icon ratchet just to check it out. And it's not bad. I mean, it does its job. But Brian, what's the word on the street now that's been out for like 6-8 months? What's the? 'Cause a lot of guys would say, "No, I'm going to just buy." That was their brand, John. That was like better than the Pittsburgh and Quinn, but
Right.
not quite tool truck brand, but approaching it. And they thought they were going to really put a hurting on.
Well, everybody freaked out about it, and everybody was worried. But
The
the
drawers are
bottom
thin.
line was,
The drawers
Yeah,
are made
well,
out of
it's
thin
cheap.
metal. They're not
It's-
heavy.
it's-
They're
it-
not. It's not
No.
like a name brand drawer.
no, it's cheap. But the big, I kept telling everybody, because they throw that in our face all the time. Well, I'm gonna go buy it. They don't have the payment plan. That's
No.
one of the reasons why they're starting the credit card thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
I got
and
the
I
application
said-
they sent me.
Yeah, and I
Yeah, I
told the
don't need
guys,
it.
I said, when a guy buys a $20,000 box from me, he's making a $50 payment for the next 5 years.
Right.
You can't do that with Harbor Freight.
No.
And that
No.
box, and everybody that's ever threatened that they were going to go buy one, I say, if you want, I'll drive over there and help you pick it up. Because they don't have the money to put down and do that.
Right.
Right.
So,
Well, it was there, and it was everything was unlocked,
yeah.
And I'm pulling out the drawers, and the sides of the drawers are not real heavy. They're very flexible. I mean, it's nice
Yep.
and smooth. It's got some quality in the way it's built, but
They use
I
double
don't think it'll
slides
be
on-
around. It's not the kind of box you're going to keep for 20 years.
No, they do use double slides on the deeper drawers, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, every drawer was deep. The whole thing was very deep. You could just about live in it.
Oh yeah, I tell you what I see. I see a lot of guys buying their tool carts, the U.S. General tool carts.
Those are good
Yeah.
for knocking around the garage.
I see a lot of those in use. Even the guy at the shop, he's from I forget what the hell he's from anyway, but it's one of the third world countries. He's a good body man, but he definitely is always on a budget, and he bought one of them for
When I get rid of this Camaro, I am buying one of those because I have a lot of loose tools that are stacked up on top of my box and shoved in areas. Like I have side cabinets. One of them's got drawers except for 2 shelves, and the other one is all shelves top to bottom. And there's just a ton of stuff just like slammed in there.
Yeah.
It's not neat. It's not clean. If I go to pull something out and like something else slips with it. So I have crap that needs to go into a box.
Yeah.
So I'll spend whatever it is, $300 or something like that. And it's either that or just go to Lowe's and get a Craftsman.
I think I saw Clay did a video, and I'm pretty sure it was a Matco box. It might have been a slider, but the thing had like 36-inch deep drawers.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It was, and this guy that did it, that was using it, says, you know what? I don't even use my main box anymore. He goes, I just use this thing because it holds so much.
I just need to put more junk into, though, something cheap.
The biggest problem, or the only problem with there's nothing wrong with those carts. The problem is that they cannot hold the weight. Our drawer rating is our drawer ratings are over 250 pounds.
Yeah.
I am let's see here, on a light day, I'm 365, okay? and I can stand in our toolbox drawer.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
And
good.
the slide rails, and that's not even a double slide rail. That's a single slide rail
Right.
thing.
That's like
And
this thing has like slide rails like my Mac box from the 80s, you know?
yeah, and
That
that's
was
where
the
that's the big
technology
thing.
then, and they're still using it now.
And that's the biggest problem because these guys buy. I can't tell you how many of the U.S. generals I've taken on trade
Mm-hmm.
and finally sold them a cart that a USA cart because in 6 months the drawers are wiped out, the drawers are falling off, the
Right.
slides don't work, and I have no problem. Of course, I'm a little bit more fair in this, but I can say I know you only paid $266 for this cart. I'll give you $500 trade in for a USA cart. But
There
you're
you go.
paying, but you're paying, you're paying
Sure.
$1,800.
Yeah.
But you're not going to have a problem.
Right.
And you can put as much weight. I mean, like I said, you should see the look on their face when I stand in the drawer. And then the first guy, and I said, well, let me do that to your Snap-on box. And there's actually video. There's actually video when the Snap-on guy did it on his truck, and you can see the drawer go, and you're done.
Right.
So, I mean, that's where the strength is, and like I said, that's the only problem with all that stuff. You can't hold any weight.
No.
And
I got, like I said, I bought this Maximizer deal, the MB 7100 and 7200 with twin side cabinets in the late 80s. And I still have it. It's got some scars on it. Everything works, but it's not the kind of quality that you're going to get today from a name brand.
Right.
It's like a upgraded. I'm going to be dead honest with you. When I look at the hardware and look at the thickness of the drawers and everything that's on it, it's an upgraded Craftsman unit. That's really all it is. It's like somebody took a Craftsman box and said, all right, can we fancy it up a little bit, maybe make something a little more heavy duty to it? That's all it is. It's not anything great, but
are your drawer? Do you know if your drawers are over? I mean, are they folded flat or are they V-shaped on the top?
they're hemmed. Each top is hemmed over.
Yeah, but it's
And
flat,
bottom-
squeezed flat,
Hold on,
right?
let me look
What
at
do
the
you mean?
bottom.
What do you mean V-shape, Brian?
Let me see if I can.
I don't know if I've seen that. The top
Let me see if I-
section of the drawer is bent in like
Well,
a
let me-
Okay, the drawer itself, it's one piece, the bottom, then it's folded, comes up, then they hem it over.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
it's flat, right?
Yeah, it's flat. Right, it's flat.
Yeah,
It's got no waviness to it for strength.
Let me see if I can turn this camera around.
So, and then the back,
Let me see.
the back is a separate piece that's spot welded underneath.
See how this drawer is. I don't know if.
Well, I do see it's bent.
Yeah, see, I don't even have a hem that big. Here, I'll show you.
See how the drawer folds over.
Okay, so it's an inverse V.
Yeah, that's
That
where
drawer
all
is-
the strength. That's all the strength.
Brian, that drawer is messy as hell, man.
Yeah, I know. It's my top drawer. It's my desk drawer.
Desk drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, see here?
I don't see any ketchup packets in there.
No, because I got the hot sauce bottle over here.
Okay,
That's-
good. All right. Oh yeah, John, you're like folded over flat, right?
Yeah, folded
Yeah.
over flat, And this is, and look at the size rollers it's got. Not big,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're noisy.
What's
work.
the date? What's the date on that box?
I bought it in 89.
I know my boxes are dated
can't-
probably like 83.
Yeah,
I can't
82 or
remember.
83.
I can't remember. I have to go back and look. I can't remember when we stopped making Mac boxes.
I bought mine in 89.
89. I think we had stopped.
Yeah.
Because for a real long time we made. That's one of the. That's one way you know is by the way the drawers are.
I won't.
See, that's where
Where do you
all our
even
strength
find a
is.
production date on these things?
Huh? It should be stamped in the corner on the back
On the back of the box?
of the box.
Oh, that ain't happening.
Yeah,
This
mine.
box weighs like 1,600 pounds, and it's up against the wall.
And the only other, sometimes it depends, but back then they weren't that worried about. But they have a different stamp inside underneath the top drawer, underneath the inside of the box before they put the drawers in. It's stamped,
Underneath
but
the top,
it's,
I have 6 little drawers on the top.
no. I'm talking about like on the when you pull the drawer out, it's in the case of the box, so you got to pull the drawer all the way out and take it out. It's usually, but I don't, but. That time period, they usually weren't that. They were usually stamped in the lower left or right hand corner of the box.
So, Brian, the question of the night is: with this jammy, what's my limitation of what I can suck through this hose? Solvent.
You could any kind. If you have enough air pressure, you can suck any fluid through there.
I'm thinking like, for the integrity of the hose, I don't want to like rot the hose out because I got plenty of pressure.
Yeah. No, I mean I've accidentally sucked oil through it. That's a mess. Don't do it.
I was thinking about putting like a regulator on it to regulate the pressure.
Well, you can regulate the pressure by the squeeze of the palm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you
crimps it off.
Yeah, when you when you squeeze that, it will allow how much air so you can go.
Got it. I was wondering about that.
So and basically, like I said, any kind of works really great with like Simple Green or what's that, Spray 9, any of those type of liquid cleaners.
I got
and usually what I used to take on the one that I have. On the hose, I took a lug nut or something, a nut the same size, and put it on there so it stayed down in the bottle.
Right.
So, like if you use a old antifreeze bottle and fill your liquid in there, and you can spray it, and it's a really good. I mean, it's actually a really great blower.
Yeah,
and cleaner.
I'm looking forward to putting it to use.
Cool.
So it's like I said, it's a great.
Yeah, John,
cleaner.
My car is a mess, and I want to get. I'm wiping it down, but I wanted to get in there with something, and Matco has this gun. It's a pressure gun. You put a siphon hose on it like this.
That's awesome.
And then you put your air pressure in here, and away you go. So, yeah, have some fun with that.
And like I said, we used to, during the services and washing down motors or whatever, we would just, I had one jug that was Simple Green or Spray 9 and then, water and wash it off. It works really great.
My buddy used to be the big Spray 9 guy on Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Spray 9 is great stuff. Yeah.
Joe Lano.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Mr. Spray 9. He had a black 66 Chevelle.
Nice.
Drag car said Spray 9 on the door. It was a wheel stander.
Wow.
That thing was awesome. Good car.
Cool.
Did a lot of work on that car for him through the years.
Yeah. So
they're
let's see. Did you try the light? You like the light, Ray?
That light is excellent. Yes. And the only thing I love it. Now, the only thing I'm confused by is why didn't they put the Matco name anywhere on the outside? It's only on the inside. And when you turn it on, you're blinding people. I know by the color, and it's cool because it's small, so you can put that thing in your pocket.
Yeah. A lot of guys like it.
I will admit it took me a while to figure out how to dim it because it said I was looking to see if it had stages and it wasn't doing it. It was going on and off. And then I read the box and it said dimmable. I'm like, dimmable? So I finally figured it out. I held the button and it dimmed down, but I'm trying to get it like to the dimmest, and then it goes off. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
Keep shutting off.
Yeah.
You know what you probably got to do? One of those deals where you turn it on, you hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. It might be one of those kind of deals.
So far,
So they have like 3 or 4 settings, like on, dimmer,
Yeah, no,
dimmer,
that one you
dimmer,
gotta
off.
hold it. No, you gotta,
hold it.
Yeah, you gotta hold it.
The only thing that would make a light like that better is like that Harbor Freight light where they put the edge light on it. So you can use that thin edge. That's got me out of trouble so many times.
Well, we have a big version of that light, which has the light on the end.
Yeah.
And that one right there is just small, but it's a great little light. And
yeah.
I fell into a handful of them. So
Did you?
Yeah.
Fell into a handful. I mean, they fell off the back of the truck.
We don't know. Very cool.
We're being recorded, so that's a later conversation.
Right, that's right.
My uncle used to get stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
well.
I remember back in the 60s, my uncle he gave to my father, but my father gave them to me. 2 of those bright yellow with the red, white, and blue stickers from Civil Defense.
Oh, yeah.
Geiger counters. Because it was the height of the Cold War. I wonder if my mom still has those. One of them was just a handheld unit. The other one had like a microphone.
Oh
It
yeah.
would wave around, and it would be funny because if you put it by your watch, if you got a watch that has glow in the dark numbers,
Right, it would go off.
radioactive. It would go crazy. We used to play with this stuff all the time. It was like a toy, but it was legit government civil defense stuff. It fell off a truck. That's the same one. Oh my God! With the microphone, right? There you go. That's one of the ones that we had. Yeah, that exact same unit. Then I had another one that I guess the sensor was at the bottom.
This one is a dosimeter, which measures millirads per hour. This thing was last calibrated in 1974.
Oh, wow.
And let's see.
That yellow one, that's from the 60s.
This is a nuclear rate meter.
Oh, my God.
That's you get the World War II headset with it.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a B-17. But I'll tell you something. March 75, this is calibrated. My buddy Christian,
that one's way newer than mine. Mine was from like 66.
Well, that's just when it was calibrated. I don't know when it was made. But my buddy Christian from Long Island Racing, he brought this stuff down to the shop one day, and we were like checking all sorts of crazy. I gave him nuclear samples from the school, but he's checking like the mantles that go in a Coleman lantern, and those things will make this go nuts. The radiation that's in there.
Well, all your tungstens that you use for TIG welding,
yes,
they're radioactive.
He actually found a place upstate that I don't have the website handy, but you can send these to them. If like $60 a piece, if there's nothing major wrong with them, they will get them back up to par and calibrate them and send them back to you. So I'm going to send these out and have them calibrated. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't believe you have those. That's crazy.
Is it really that surprising? I mean, and the inside is in really good shape. It's like, I can think it's like it's brand new.
That's it. I remember taking mine apart too. I was always into pulling stuff apart, figuring it out. You know, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when the apocalypse comes, I want to have my Matco light to see the way and use
your dagger.
See where the zombies are.
Checking for the zombies when they walk by.
Anton Electronic Laboratories, Brooklyn in New York.
There you go.
Well, you got me, Ray. I can't even pull one of those out. I'm sorry.
No, I don't have one anymore either. They're gone.
Well, maybe your mom still has it.
I mean, the only exciting thing
I bet she does.
The only exciting thing I did today was buy a couple boxes of hollow points, but that's
Okay.
about all.
What caliber?
What'd you buy?
Huh?
What'd
What
you buy?
caliber? Hollow points.
Oh yeah,
Hollow points, 45s and 40s.
Oh yeah.
nice. I got about 400 or 509 hollow points.
Yeah.
Field and Stream, I got a deal. I bought like a 500, a brick of 500 about a year ago for like $79. I was like, yeah,
Wow.
give me that. I'll take that. I've never fired the 9. I finally got the 9 that I always wanted, and I haven't fired it yet.
I got the ones that they're serrated edges, and it's got like it looks like the tip looks like a tiny little plastic ball.
That might be a Horandy.
It's red. They're from Civilian Protection or something like that.
Okay.
Some weird name. But they're the ones with the serrated edge. So when they crush, they mushroom out
Right.
almost 3 times the width of when they were shot. So they go in nice and smooth, and they take out a nice hole in the back. But nines don't have all that much oomph to them to begin with. But it's just good to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got some old. Remember back in the what was it? The 80s, 90s, the cop killers, the Black Talents.
Yeah.
I got some of those. Those things are nasty, man. I tell you.
Brian, I have black talons that go in my 44 Magnum.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're trash cans.
That'll just take your head off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got black talents for my 45. So
Take a man's head clean off.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking a man's head clean off, have you seen that new Star Trek show, Picard?
No, I heard about it. I haven't seen it though.
It's really good.
Now there's an animated one coming out. Because they're also bringing back Beavis and Butthead, and they're bringing back Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Ben!
I was watching this episode of Picard, and there's this guy. He's kind of like he's a Vulcan. He's a Vulcan, or
he's half and half. He's half and half.
Yeah, he's something. I think he's a Romulan. But he's a nice guy.
I thought he was half Vulcan.
A nice guy.
Well, because most of the Romulans were like bad guys. So anyway, he's like a ninja warrior.
They had the bad suntans,
Yeah, he's like a ninja guy, and this dude's getting ready to attack Picard. This dude comes out of nowhere and he swings this knife made out of unobtainium, and it went through this dude's neck like a razor blade. And then you just see the head go whack. I was like, oh, that was nice.
Wow.
In 4K on my widescreen TV. I was like, yeah. Wow. It was such a clean special effect.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I was like, holy shit.
So, Brian,
they brought back, what's her name? 7 of 9.
Oh, 7 of 9. Yeah, she was a favorite.
Yeah. Yep. She's back in the series.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
We talking 1911 there, Brian?
No, Glock.
Oh, okay.
I like Glocks.
I've got a 45 Glock, a 10 millimeter Glock, a couple 9s. I love my Glocks.
I remember when that 10 came out. That was not a real popular.
And I tell you one thing, I got a couple guys that want it because my 45 is also on a 9 frame. Mine's first generation 45,
right?
And it's on a 17 frame, so it's only got the 1 pin and it's small. I mean, it's a small body,
right?
And
how's the recoil?
It's okay. I mean, it's not bad.
Right.
I mean, it has it. I mean, but
I got a 45 that I can deep print in my hand.
Yeah.
And it's the last gun you shoot because it kicks the shit out of you.
That's the way I have my Springfield arm. It's PC9. It's my 40, and it's a smaller gun. And like I said, it hurts to shoot
Yeah.
that one because with that 40, it just kills you. When
Yeah.
that's like you said, you don't start with that gun.
No, it's the last one. If you got anything left, you take a few with that and you're done.
Yeah,
I got
I
to
got-
see.
but I've got a couple SIGs and
I'll tell you what. You know what I don't
I've
like
got-
about my SIG? There's no safety.
No.
Mm.
It's a DA, right? It's a double action. DA only?
It's a dangerous gun.
But it's a DA only, right? It's not a single. Because they
You
kind
pull
of
the
figure
trigger, the bullet comes out.
it's probably
Yeah.
double action. So you got to have a long pull on that first shot. And that's what a couple of mine are the same way. I got my Smith 40. It's the Sigma. Yeah, I got the
I
380.
don't think the SIG is a good carry gun.
I get the 380 and the 40, and they're both double action only, but they don't have safeties.
Yeah.
My Beretta has a safety. That's why I had a Colt. I had a Colt 380, a little Mustang, and single action. And I sold it. I sold the damn thing because I just, you got to carry it with the chamber empty. So you got to be able to like rack that thing and
Exactly.
and be
Which
ready.
I like the Glock because of the button.
Right.
As you're going for it, your thumb just hits it and then pull.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Done.
All right.
Yeah.
Whereas the SIG's a nice gun. It's built real well. It's high quality, this, that, and everything else. And my wife's totally sold on SIGs. But
nice product.
yeah, no, I'm not knocking the product. It's a good
there's
product.
a lot of stuff too that came out of like Brazil.
Great carry gun.
Car Arms was another one in the beginning. It was kind of but they've come a long way, making some nice stuff. There's another one with a K. The hell's the name of it?
About a Walter PPK.
Well, that's my friend. Yeah, that gun. Every time I shot it, it would grab the web of my thumb. I'd come bloody all the time because the slide comes back.
You know when I was practicing before I took the carry course, I was using a Glock 21, I think, and it had a tendency to slide down.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I got whacked right across here.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right.
When it came back,
That's why in the 1911s,
It's something about the grip.
The 1911s, you add like the stainless steel ducktail, they call it, because it'll web into your hand.
Keep it from coming down, which the Glocks don't have that.
Right.
When you bring it out, it's wide open underneath, and you get hit with that.
That's what's nice about that 1911, man. It is like the small block Chevy of handguns. You can build one out of a catalog. You can accessorize it to balls. I mean, there's so much available for those guns.
Yeah.
Everybody's making something, But
I'm working on stocking up.
Yeah.
Next thing is a couple of nice rifles. Ones that look like attack rifles.
Oh no, assault rifles.
Assault rifles. Oh my God. It says AR.
Right.
It's an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? What is it? The Attorney General in New York City?
Yes, Letitia James.
What an asshole.
Yes, she is.
Total in quotes and capital letters that flash. Asshole. That she thinks she's going to take down the NRA. Because the chairman of the NRA, the CEO, he has like 2 jets and a couple of houses. Good for him.
And he spent the money.
I don't care if he spends $100 million a year on lavish parties and all that. I don't care. And she shouldn't care. It's got nothing to do with her.
Right.
That's a federal thing. If they think he's skimming money or whatever, that's a federal thing.
Exactly.
Not a local general, attorney.
It's partisan politics. Again, it's just because
she's an asshole.
It's because the NRA represents such a huge voting block and a huge contingent, and it ain't the contingent she's on.
The NRA is your friend.
Right?
You don't like it?
Yeah.
Right here. Between her, the mayor, your governor's an idiot too.
Yeah.
The crap going on. They're still protesting every night. You notice they haven't taken down that federal building yet, though.
No, they were saying
they're playing the game.
I was listening to the Suffolk County executive this morning on the radio, and they asked them, like, listen, is the problem with getting the power back on to all these people because workers don't want to come in from out of state because of Cuomo's guidelines? Is it affecting them with quarantine? And he said, no, actually, I don't believe that it's no, but he said they actually have trouble in their own states, so that's where they got to stay there first. They come here if they're free. But I haven't really heard of any other states being as badly hit as we are right now. So
Florida got nothing.
Yeah.
We got hit. We had 4 tornadoes.
Yeah, it was out in the ocean.
Right.
And it was the right way, the way it was spinning. So
yeah,
we didn't get it. It flew past Florida like it didn't even exist, you know. And today, when I was heading down to Fort Myers, there was a huge convoy of electrical workers all heading north.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're leaving the state and heading up north to help out. I guess, you know,
Carolinas,
everything above Florida, the Carolinas and
Carolina got hit pretty bad.
Yeah,
we got we have a real mess down in southern Maryland.
But
like I said, we were on the outer edges.
I was watching the news and I'm like, they got these checkpoints in New York. You come across the bridge, the tunnels. Yeah. I'm like, really? All of a sudden, what is he so afraid of now?
But they're already on top of it where they're saying, well, what are they going to be checking? They can't be asking for sensitive information because it's a violation of their rights. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but you know what? People don't realize that.
Oh, I know.
The average American is going to give up everything he's got when he sees the badge.
Yeah.
Not that I would be an asshole to authority, but when I understand that the authority is doing something that's asinine to me in the beginning, then you're not going to get a thing out of me, you know?
Right. Well, most people respect the authority too, so.
Right. If you respect authority, you don't have a problem, but what he's doing, and then de Blasio's over there saying, you know, if you don't follow the rules, there's really, really large monetary fines attached to this.
I'll tell you the truth.
Does he expect everybody to come in there and stick around for 2 weeks before they do what they got to do?
No. There's more cars running around Brooklyn with Georgia plates and Carolina plates than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, everybody just registers a car down there and they drive them up here. So they're going to be, all those people are going to be under question. Like, okay, where'd this car come from? So, I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Stuff that's going on is like, it's ridiculous.
It's a freak show.
Yeah.
And it's between de Blasio and Cuomo trying to out scumbag each other.
I like the fact that the two of them hate each other.
And they're supposedly really good friends.
Yeah, right.
They were, you know, they did a lot of stuff together, and then all of a sudden they would just like not agree. But by now, they can't. Hey, for the first time, Curtis Lee always says this, so it doesn't surprise me. But for the first time, I heard another guy on some guy on Fox. It was just, you know, my wife had it on, and the guy was just talking about de Blasio and said, yeah, well, you know, the mayor's over there smoking dope every night. So what do you expect him to do? And it snapped my head back. Like, Curtis is always on him about that. He's like smoking ropes of dope. He's got his Afghan Kush. The guy's like always getting high and you know,
really?
Slope. So he's relentless with it. But it's the first time I heard somebody else say it.
So like, he really is a piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God he doesn't govern me. But
how do guys like that get elected?
Twice. He got elected twice.
I don't think he'll get elected this time.
Well, there were term limits, and then Bloomberg, who fought for the term limits when he was a mayor, and his third term came up where he would have been out. Then he went and reversed the term limits so he could stay in for a third term.
Oh,
so
God.
Bloomberg did that. So now actually,
yeah, but the city's hurting really hard, and everybody's moving out, and all the businesses are closing.
Yeah, the money's moving out.
My uncle's got the oldest pizzeria in the country.
Really?
They're not bringing back Lombardi's on Spring Street. He said, I'm done.
Yeah.
He said, that's it. He said, I got 2 other locations. One, like by Columbus Circle, that they opened up, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And they got one in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
He says, I'm not going back to Spring Street. He goes, the history's not worth it. The rent
Right.
is insane in the
Oh.
buildings.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's no longer, well, it's been years now. They're not in the building my great-grandfather owned.
Oh, okay. All right.
When the pizzeria closed in the 80s, because the last of the sisters passed away, that building, the restaurant had been closed for years. Lombardi's was closed like, I don't know, 10, 12 years, you know? And when the last sister passed away, the estate got split up amongst like all of the nieces and nephews. So my uncle, because they were doing a lot of rehabilitating in rehabilitation programs in Little Italy.
Yeah.
So my uncle got a government-backed business loan for what the property was worth
Right.
and handed out the money.
Mm-hmm.
So he owned the building straight up. And then he reopened Lombardi's, but he didn't open Lombardi's as a pizzeria. He opened it up as a 5-star Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was just loaded with celebrities and presidents and the whole 9 yards for years and years and years. And then the crap with, what's his name? The Teflon Don.
Oh, Gotti.
Gotti. He started being a pain in the ass. So my uncle was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm retiring. So that was the end of that. And there's apartments, 6 apartments in there. So he sold the building. And then years later, this guy who's like a pizza psycho grabbed my uncle and told him, you need to bring back the original recipe pizza because the city needs it.
Yeah.
And convinced my uncle and my uncle's best friend. And they went like 5 stores up the block to what used to be a bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Had a brick oven. They had all the marble and the tiles from the original oven that my grandfather had built, great-grandfather had built back in 1905. That was all taken down when my uncle sold the building, and he put all that stuff in storage.
Yeah.
So they called in a company that rebuilt the brick oven, and they refaced it with all of the original tiles from the 1900s with the name Lombardi's, the whole deal. But then at that point in time, the only living person that knew anything about the original recipe was my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
So it took them like 4 months before they could figure out how to actually make the original pizza and control a coal-fired brick oven.
Right, right.
And there's things that I wound up learning that I didn't even realize, that if you cook a pizza, like they have a grid. So if you put a pizza all the way in the back left-hand corner, when you pull that pie out, you can't put another one in the same spot. Those bricks are literally colder than the surrounding bricks.
Really?
The dough pulls the heat out of the brick.
Okay.
So they had to learn this because they'd cook a pie and it would come out good. Then they'd put another one in right away and it would be doughy.
I mean, I can see that the dough pulls the heat, but the coal should be heating the brick again, though. So where is the?
No. What it is the coals are actually like the way a smoker works. Okay, a coal-fired brick oven, the old school ones, the coals are not under the oven. The coals are on the side in a chamber.
Okay.
That's where it comes in with the chute, and the guy goes in with the shovel and he stokes it and the whole deal.
Yeah.
And there's like a big, kind of like a tomb looking door that they open up. And there's vents that they can open and close, and that's how they regulate the temperature.
Yep.
And the heat drafts under the actual pizza oven. So the heat goes from one side to the other and then out. And it just heats the bricks. It's just heating the bricks up with hot air.
Every once in a while in my smoker, I'll make that mistake. Like, you got to watch it when you're cooking chicken or something, because when you're not, that's why they tell you to leave it alone. Don't move it around.
Right.
Because you'll take it and you'll move it. And then if you put something back over there, it's not the same temperature. So you have to make, it won't cook all the way through. It's kind of weird. You gotta you got to really kind of. That's why a lot of times, if you watch guys, they'll put their hands to feel temperature. They'll feel the heat to see because if you move along like. I had one that was really long. Like you start out close to the heat and you move it down to regulate the temperature and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to watch when you started out because that stuff, it takes a while for it all gain the heat back in and so forth. And if you put something too cold or too raw, like a chicken, if it's too
changes
cold, it won't. It'll take forever to cook, and you got to watch it.
Unreal.
Boy, what
so on the side with the coals, there's like this. It's like a cast iron ring, and they stick a bowl in there, and they roast the peppers.
Ah.
And it chars the peppers in about a minute and a half.
Nice.
Perfect. They put them in there, and the guy opens up the door, and he puts the thing in. He's got like a tool that drops it in there, and then he gives it a stir. Like a minute and a half, they pull it out. Hot, steaming, roasted peppers ready to go. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Because I think the thing runs at like 17 or 1800 degrees.
Wow.
Nuts.
Okay,
they cook a large pie in like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
And it comes out, you can't touch it. It's bubbling, it's burned on the bottom.
Nice.
The whole deal. Yeah. It's unreal. That oven runs extremely hot. But that's the way it used to be.
Right.
So it took them a while to figure that stuff out. But he's like, nah, forget about it now. Because they went from the bakery, then they bought the unit next door, or they rented the unit next door, and they actually did pastries and everything and desserts there. Then they went the other way to the corner, and they put a bar and more seating, and then they have upstairs, downstairs seating. And the rent over there is like insanity.
Yeah.
Because that's a real expensive place to be. So he's like, I'm telling you, I'm about 90% positive I'm never coming back over there.
Yeah.
The history is done. Put it in the book. Finish. See you.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah, he's got the other places, so what the hell? He's got the other locations.
Yeah. But he doesn't do much. I mean, he's been retired for years. It's really, he just, owns it. So that's cool.
All right, guys, I got to get ready. I got my district rep to drive around with me tomorrow.
Whoa,
Can't
nice.
wait for that fun and
Time to do credit cards, right?
Yeah, well, the computer's already set up. I just got to double check and let it run. But
man, I almost screwed up the other night. Had a customer had it was a $1,600 invoice.
Yeah.
And I wasn't watching when I was hitting the numbers, and I ran an invoice for $16,000.
Oh boy!
And it got approved.
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
And then I realized it, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" But I didn't batch it.
Yeah.
So I went and backed it out, canceled it, But I called my customer. Because when I went to put it back for $1,600, it wouldn't take it, which means it like brought it up probably past the limit or whatever, and then it put a hold on everything.
Yeah.
So I called him up. He was laughing. He goes, "Well, you got fat fingers?" I go, "It's a touch screen." "Yeah, I do." He goes, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "I'll call the credit card company and tell them that you backed it out."
I use these pens with the rubber tip on my phone, on my tablet.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier than relying on your fingers.
It was one of them things where I put it in, but my finger was like, for a split second, was resting on the 0.
Oh, yeah.
And like on your computer, if you hold the key, all of a sudden it goes.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't see it because you put the amount in, and then the next thing is you go to the zip code.
Yeah.
On the card, and I click, and then I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, and then I looked, and I'm like, oh my god!
I did that back in the old days when I had to do it, and I did that. Like you said, I got all the way to the end, and I was like, man, I ran a lot of credit cards this week, 'cause it
Yeah.
was like, 10,000 more than normal, and I was like, holy shit. Then you realize, but
Now you gotta
thank
go
God I
find
didn't
it.
batch it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Then you
I
gotta go
just, like I
find
said, yeah, well, then I had to go back and realize who, for the $30 payment, it was like $3,000 or whatever, and I'm like, holy shit. And I said, next time this guy tells me he don't have no money, I know that's bullshit,
Yeah.
So, but it was funny, man. I freaked out. Luckily, like you said, I didn't batch it, and
Yeah.
so it backed out. It never caused the issue. But I've done it where it batched, and man, you want to talk about a phone call? You get a phone call real quick, like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like, "What are you talking about?" So
That's
Oh,
bad
well.
news.
I want to see if we'll get cut off the 3-hour mark.
I don't know,
yeah,
man. We're
maybe.
still going.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
I'm at-
30
Wow.
303. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
You're at 303. I'm at 309.
Now I'm at 309. 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'm
14.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah. You're about a half second ahead of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good
Yeah,
enough
I
for
can't
me.
believe.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're still going.
I wonder if anybody watches these things all the way to the end.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody without a life. I don't know. I know my buddy Bill banged out. He got out of here a little while ago.
I looked on my computer and it says there's 20 people logged in.
Yeah, that was the amount of registered people. It's not the amount of active. I don't know how to see what's active. I thought I saw that once before in the past, but I know those are just the registered. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah.
Unregistered calendar, no share help.
A lot of people registered.
Yeah. 20. That's a pretty good night. I think Clay, I don't know. I think Clay brought a couple guys with him right off the bat.
That's a cool name, Cuda Malone. That sounds like
one of his buddies, yeah.
That sounds like something from what do you call it?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, yeah, right.
It's got to be one of his buddies.
Keith at KG's Garage.
That's Keith Gill from Florida.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Koon Trucking.
That's Clay Koon, yeah.
Clay's in here twice.
His wife is in there too.
I got one that says Clay Koon and one that says Koon Trucking. Maybe that's the reason he couldn't get in.
He was trying a couple different things. See, I don't have. Oh, I see Clay Koon at the end. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm in there twice.
I don't see you in there twice.
I see you once. I only see you once, Brian.
Yeah, here I have. I got Ray. I got you. Then me. I mean, I'm in there. It shows me being in there twice.
Wow.
We have a different order of things. You're down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're the 8th one down on my list.
Yeah, no. And then I have Chassis, and then it's Chassis John. Like my Koon's Trucking, I have Clay, and then I have like halfway up, then it says Koon. But like I said, it's kind of weird. I don't know why I'm in there twice.
Don't know.
Very strange. All right. I guess that's it.
Yep. All right, fellas.
Okay.
Good start of the week.
Yep.
All right.
Let me know. Let me know if you need anything.
I get to play Johnny Electric tomorrow.
All right, Johnny Electric.
That's it.
That's good.
Nice.
Get it done and get it out of here.
Good deal.
Yep. Don't let the smoke out. Don't let the smoke out.
No. All right. See you boys later.
Okay, fellas.
Take it.
Good night.
Take it easy.